ignition. Liftoff.
What's up, everybody? Super exciting night. It's Monday Night Lights, as always, but it's way bigger than that. It is Manitoba Derby night at Assiniboia Downs. We are so excited to be here, and I have an awesome lineup of guests. I'll welcome them one by one. Sarah, how are you? Thanks for always being here. You're looking fantastic, as usual.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me. I didn't realize this was the last night, so got to go out with a bang. I'm excited.
This is our finale. I was trying to find some, it doesn't end till the fat lady sings that would be politically correct to put in marketing, and I couldn't. So it's fine. We're here. That's all that matters. What's up, Matthew? How are you doing?
Doing well. Glad to be back on this and very excited and sending salutations from my father as well, who is watching live. He's very excited. I think he's more excited for the Assiniboia buffet rather than the races, but he's still very excited tonight.
Well, I was going to ask how your dad is. So shout out to Mr. DeSantis. And we're excited that you're watching as usual. Also excited to bring Michael Domable on here. So I met Michael at Colonial Downs. We obviously have been focusing on Assiniboia Downs. So I'm glad that you're here to show some of your expertise and see what you can do tonight in the big game. Michael, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm excited to be on this side of the camera for one of these live streams. I've been in the comments the last couple of weeks. You guys are having too much fun, so I had to join you for the big night.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here. And so you can see Michael Domable and his name right there. Most importantly, in Stable Duel, he's Stable MM Domable. You will see him on the leaderboard quite frequently. So follow him on Twitter if you have questions. He's very helpful. Maybe he won't tell you everything because he does very well. Hey, and I mean, no shame in that game, but give him a follow. And then Razor, this is when I feel like I got to start yelling. What's up? How are you? I'm so excited you're here tonight.
What's going on, guys? Yeah, I got the fireball ready. I got a brand new bottle. I hope everyone's volumes are not too loud because there will be some screaming later. And for the record, before Sarah was famous, I had her on my show when she was back on in the bar. So before she was a celebrity, I knew Sarah. So it's an honor to be on with all you guys.
I know we're trying to rope her in before we can't rope her in anymore. So same thought, Britt. Same thoughts. Let me start putting some. So people started chatting way before we even got live. Dennis, we're probably gonna pull you on later. So don't put all the eggs in one basket and races 1 through 3. Okay. What's up, William? Thanks for tuning in, Chris. Yeah. So Mark DiLorenzo hopefully is gonna pop on for Giddy Up Bets. He knows everything about New York racing. I have challenged him with Assiniboia Downs. He just had kind of a big, Sunday Saratoga, so he probably is a little raspy, but he's coming on. Let's see here. Yeah, see, don't forget about William. Nope, never. Armchair Matt, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. We got Todd here. Maybe that's his pick 5, pick 6, pick 7, 8, 9, 10. Sean Minix, hello, Stable Duel hosts and fellow competitors. So you only have a couple minutes to get your stables in. $25 is the big game. Do not get in the free game and do not only get in the free game and not get in the 25 game. There's so much more money to be won in the $25 game, $1,000 to the winning spot. And quickly, Michael, I'll ask you, how hard it is to do well in a free game versus a paid game. What's any insight there to entice people to kind of take that leap for an extra added value?
Yeah, I think it just the level of competition is there's just so many more stables. So the more stables, it's going to be someone's going to hit that straight flush, that perfect lineup in when you have 300 or 400 stables in it. When it's only 80 stables, or in this case probably a little bit closer to 100 or 200. The chances of you winning are just higher. It's just a numbers game. So I know that's been my strategy is the higher the buy-in, the lower the winning score on average. So that's
a good. I like it. It's a good analogy. Yeah, for sure. What's up, Colin? Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah,
David,
don't be an idiot like me and get second place in the free stable and then not even play in the paid one. Don't be the idiot like me.
And so you probably cashed like $20 where you would have won, I think, $750 or $575, something like that.
I just wanted to save that money for someone else. That's
Yeah.
all.
So, to that point, yesterday at Del Mar, the 11th place finisher in the $1 game, which was the person who finished just out of the money, would have finished second in the $25 game and won $300. So you gotta just if you always say it, Bree, if you've done your homework, trust your capping, enter. You know, at 25 is not that big of a jump. We're not talking about a $50 or $100 game. 25 is manageable, and if you feel like you have a good stable, go for it.
Yep, absolutely. And it's, I'm starting to swing bigger on certain convictions of betting. It's the same thing. You're playing an entire card. So it's not as if you're like, okay, well, let me play $20 to win on this horse. You're playing 25 to win the entire race card. So think of that analogy. Dennis, I'm pointing at you. I know you play more than $25 for a full race card and you're just scared in Stable Duel. And one of these days it's going to pay off. So here we go. Everybody's tuning in. I love this. Henry, no respect for us. Oh, yeah. What? I don't even know how to say that. Go Metal Farms is back. I think I said that right from the Louisiana chatter last. We got Kyle Levy here. There we go. Just submitted my stables. Let's have a night. Thanks for tuning in. Razor always chatting back, which is perfect. Colin is back. Okay. So let's go. Let me go over here to TVG, see where we're at. Assiniboia Downs, 8:30 is the game locked? Is anybody sitting there looking at it?
Game
at 8:35.
8:35. Yes, you still have almost 4 minutes.
Oh my gosh! I mean, you could put a whole nother stable in for your chance to win. Just saying. Saying.
You got right now. You have 164 stables in the $25 game. And to Michael's point, 369 stables in the free game. So just the law of numbers right there.
And a lot more money to be won for $25 than to play for free. But either way, guys, here's this all serious. We're glad that you're playing. We're glad that you're interacting. We're glad that you're having fun with us, with Stable Duel and Assiniboia Downs. So, I mean, no prejudice whatsoever. We did do a fun thing last time where we had a numbers game where I can't remember who picked. I think it was Sean that picked the number in the free ride, and we'll give away some swag for that. But we're also going to give away swag for the first, second, and third finishers in the 25. So there goes an earbud, of course. Shoddy operation. So I've got two hats here, different colors. You kind of see this every live stream. We've got Assiniboia shirts going on here. So we will be giving them away on the live stream. And also if you're playing within games, and now I'm going to watch one of my dogs swallow one of these AirPods. So I'm going to pass this over to Matt. Matt, what was some of the big challenges for creating your stable tonight for Stable Duel?
Yeah, you're right. A couple of things. One, it's a little bit different because tonight, and Michael, Sarah, Razor, you guys know this, it's 8 races instead of 7. So it's another race on the card. Just kind of throws a little bit of a kink. I think a lot of us are so used to doubling up now in 3 races that now only being able to double up in 2, it just changes the dynamic. The other thing I'll say is some of the races are just a little bit deeper, I feel like, this week as opposed to some of the previous weeks. A lot of a lot more evenly matched fields, and then on top of that, just more horses in the fields. So certainly more opportunities for some value in different spaces, but it just made it a little bit more challenging. You're not looking at a 5 or 6 horse field where there's kind of an obvious, favorite and maybe an obvious long shot. And there's a little bit more. I feel like people are spread a little bit more today. I don't know, Michael, what your thoughts are on that compared to previous weeks.
Yeah, I think it's a fun card because you got a lot of stakes races, which is always fun. I think one of the things that makes it difficult is how you treated some of the horses that came in to Assiniboia. A lot of times it's just the same horses running against each other over and over again. But with the Manitoba Derby and some of the undercard stakes, you got trainers like Diodoro shipping in. So you got some new blood. So it'll be interesting to see if like the home court advantage for the your lunch pail horses that have been doing it every week holds true, or if these these other trainers come in and scoop some pots away from them. So I think that was one of the challenges, is just how do you judge those horses that haven't been at the track before.
So Keith had a question. If you're playing the free ride and you're playing 25 and that's all you're playing, do you play the exact same stable or do you play with other strategies? Michael, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I think when you play the free ride, I think you need to be a little bit more spready. And by spready, I mean you need to have picks in as many races as possible, because you want to try to maximize the number of points you can get. Because it's really winning in the free ride when it only pays top 10 or top 20 out of 200 or 300 stables. You really need to be right pretty much the whole time. So I'll normally have more races covered in a free ride than I would a paid contest. But that always does open you up to the fact that you could have a perfect stable in a free ride, and then you have that sinking feeling of that one hitting, and then you didn't get the big payout in the big money contest. But so it's kind of it's up to you. I think you can go either way. That's just how I treat it, because the strategy in a free ride versus a paid game is a little bit different.
Yeah. Sarah, any thoughts to that? Do you play the same stables if you're playing both the free ride and the 25?
Usually I do. I think tonight I just used like one horse differently. I think the main strategy for me tonight with building my stables was that we're seeing a lot more route races this evening, and Assiniboia doesn't really run any. They've only run 10 so far this year. So the fact that we're going to be seeing at least half the card with those tonight, there's a pretty significant bias to those, and I want to see if it holds true this evening. And that's kind of the idea that I built my stable around tonight.
That makes sense. Razor, since you have done the free ride and not done the 25 and got a little bit of a punch in the face, what's your thought here? Would you do the same, or would you split them up, try different strategies, or to Michael's, get a bit more spready in one than the other?
Well, thanks again for the reminder of my jackass move last week.
All night.
But yeah, I'm playing the same stable in the free and in the money one, and I like some prices tonight. So I'll be wearing I'm allergic to chalk hat tonight, as I think there's some big prices we can get paid. I got two horses where I only spend $100 on, so I got to go a little bit big on a couple other horses. So I'm ready.
That's fair. All right, let's see where we're at. So currently 0 minutes to post. If this is your first time watching Assiniboia Downs, 0 minutes to post means they are on their way to the gate. So we still have a few minutes to chat or do giveaways or whatever it is. So why don't we do this? Let's go through race one really fast, each one of your picks. Who do you have in your stables to kick this off if you selected horses in race one? And who do you betting on the side if it's different from who's in your stable duel? So Sarah, what's your big conviction in race one if you've got one?
Yeah, I mean, I used the 5 and the 1 in here. This isn't really a race that I'm rushing to bet on the side. I think the 5 just seems like the best horse in the race. I don't love the price, of course, but this horse just seems like the one to beat. I'm using my angle of less chances to lose than some other ones. This one ran behind Mia Bear twice. We saw that horse a couple of times on this live stream. It's a decent horse for the circuit. And then with the one horse, this one was third last time out. The rail's an advantage, and I hope that this one will just hit the board at a little bit of a price.
Matthew, who do you got?
I have the exact same. The 1-5 I'm playing in my stables, and I'm actually surprised the 1 is the price that it is right now. I think it's 28-1 on the line, which seems really high because I like that horse quite a bit. I'm kind of perplexed by the number of people that are going on the 3. That horse just seems to regress each time out. So I'm a little surprised that horse is taking as much money, but in this field, I certainly understand why. But like Sarah, I'm not getting too crazy. Just 1-5 in this. Michael?
Yeah, I stayed away from this race for the most part, just because if you kind of look through the past performances, a lot of these horses, a lot of them have had significant defeats in terms of margin of defeat. So I stayed away from it for the most part, but you know me, I have multiple stables, so I had to have one stable that threw a horse in it, and I actually did land on the 3 Hot Linda, just because I think the trainer jockey combo is probably one of the best out of the 7 lined up for this one. So stayed away from it for the most part, but you know had to have a little action going.
Razor, who do you got?
Well, if you're going to take this 5, you got to take some prices underneath wager-wise. Stable duel, I didn't play anything this race, so for wager-wise, that 5 is strong, and the 5 is actually the top jockey trainer combo with 18 races. They've hit 22%. The only ugly thing is the 4 to 5. I can't get jiggy with that. I can't get paid with that. So I have to go with the first timer. I like the 4, Rye Bread. So I went 4-1-5. Exacta box, try box, $2 each. It's going to cost me $24. I just got to hope one of the prices come on top, and if we can start out on top.
All right, we've got a couple calling out 7. I actually didn't mind the 7. I think that obviously drop in class here. I remember watching this horse a couple times on these live streams. The last race, it was bumped at the break. It was wide, and it just didn't do very well. If I'm looking for some value, I would include 7 as well. And we're looking 7 is currently 5-1, morning line odds 3-1, so $8,000 in stable duel. I'm currently 5-1, so not bad value if you're looking for a potential winner. And we've got a few. Henry said something, Peter said something, and then Todd's down here throwing down some of his bets. So I heard somebody ping to come in, but I don't see anybody. Okay, Michael, I know that you've watched this, so you do know you have to call a race here. Razor, you do. Well, see, Razor calls races. He's the reason that we tried to do this, because Razor does this for a freaking living most nights, I feel like. So it's not even, maybe Razor, you're going to call the first one because you know what's up.
I can do the first one. I just got to get my fireball ready, and I got to get it drunk.
Did you see that picture I posted from my parents' house? Because there's a little fireball over there right now.
And you see, I did that little GIF for you. I made that little GIF for you last week.
I love that GIF. Yes, yes. It was perfect. It's a little hair flip. All right, so it is no need to call it in these things. Shane, I think he's talking to you. So no need to call it. We have not gotten on a live stream. I don't know if he would. I'll have to ask him. He is public on Twitter, and he will sometimes surface.
Right?
Yep. Yes.
Yep.
So go ahead and if you look at Stable Duel and see some contests, he will show himself on Twitter. But I don't blast anybody out unless they want to be, betters are betters. What can I say? All right. K Reed says try key with number 3. The late races are going to be great. All right. Where are we at? We're going in the gate.
Going in the gate. Yeah, just starting.
All right. So I'll shut up. Razor, it's your moment, sir.
Assiniboia Downs ready for one. Shout out to Stable Duel. Shout out to the 60+ people watching. If you haven't already, hit the like button down below, share, and subscribe. Turn your notifications on. Get notified every time they go live here on Stable Duel. We are at Assiniboia Race 1, 6 furlong race on the dirt. It's going to be a fun night. Cheers to everybody in the chat. While they're still loading up, I'm going to take a shot. Everyone out there is drinking, hanging out. It's what we do. We hang out, Stable Duel. Cheers to everybody.
I had a glass of red wine, so now I'm cheersing your water, which I know is against the rules, but I feel like someone's got to cheers you.
Cheers. I appreciate it. They're still walking around in the back. Looks like the 1 and the 2 are loaded up. The 1 and the 2 are loaded up. Shout out to Shane in the chat. Todd, Rob, Kevin Reed in the house. We got William, Armchair Handicap. We got the whole squad in the house.
I know, what a good group. There we go. See, I'm not the only one cheersing.
There we go. ASD, I feel like it's Charlestown. They say 0 minutes till post, but there's still 15 minutes to go.
It's not as bad. We did talk about this last time. It's not as bad as Charlestown.
There we go. We got 60+ people in the chat. We only got 18 likes. So hit the like button down below. It helps Stable Duel out a ton. When you hit the like button, it's free, and it moves them up on the algorithm. So people see the show. They search horse racing. Stable Duel is the first thing to pop up. So make sure you hit the like button if you can. All you guys have social media. So if you got MySpace, Farmers of America, Facebook, whatever you have, share it. Let everyone know we're hanging out. We got celebrities on the screen. We got
I'm learning so much right now.
Like our guy
They're
Jeremy.
off.
They're off.
The like button. Assiniboia Downs race 1. They are off and racing. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you for the support. Right now, the 3 is out front. Hot Linda at 5-2. In second on the outside is Spats. The 2. Now on the inside, on the far outside is the 7, who ended up going off at 5-1. In fourth down the center of the track is the 6, and that's no surprise. 3, 2, 7, 6 are the top 4 horses. But here comes that 5 on the outside in fourth. 3, 2, 7, 5, 6 is the order as they start to head around the final turn. The 2 is poked out to the front at 12-1, but the favorite, the 5, is on the outside. Did he go too far outside? We will find out. They're coming down the final stretch. The 3 is on the inside. The 2 is down the center. Here comes the 5 on the outside. The 6 is trying to squeeze down the center, but the 5 is gone. 5, 2, 6 is the fun.
Yep.
Who's the 5 here? I gotta go
The
back.
favorite.
Notable Norba. Chow. Does anybody think of The Hangover when you see Chow? Please tell me you do.
I do now.
Literally every time. Like, I wanted to throw up GIFs, but I was like, I don't know if that's the right thing to do. All right. Let us know if you had that mix. So what do we have? 5, 2, 6? Is that where we ended up?
5-2-6. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously not a lot of value to 5. Notable Nora went off at 7-5. 2, though, 12-1. So not a bad place bet. Not probably a bad exacta. Not the greatest. And then 6 was also 12-1. So if anybody had the try, I mean, you're getting something. No surprise. The 12 morning line 12-1. The 6 is 12-1 going off live. So Mr. Leslie Chow. See, someone else is with me. I like it. Somebody's doing a dance for that second, finishing second for sure. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how tonight's stable duel ends up. Again, it's a little bit deeper than some of the other Assiniboia Downs games. 8 races is also new. And yeah, just some imports, some outsiders. Diodoros are coming in to see if they're going to shake things up. Sorry, Razor. I mean, I know you like your close-up. We'll split that up. Lost and still smiling. Yeah, there you go, Todd. Only race 1. Plenty of races to go. But did you die? Yes. See, now we should just do Chow quotes the entire time. All right, let's move on to race 2. So there are a bunch of stakes. I can also let me see if I can put this up in the chat. Assiniboia Downs did an awesome job for the big race tonight. They did a press kit for the Derby. So you can actually go in and see, some notes for each one of the Derby horses. You'll see facts of the Derby in general. It's just a really cool thing to take a read in between races, pictures of each one of the horses. They just do an awesome job for free information for new fans, for seasoned horse players, if you care to look at this stuff. But I put it in there. Go ahead and take a look. Maybe we'll share some screens. But let's go to race 2. This is 1 mile to 63rd running of the Harvey Warner Manitoba Mile Stakes, $50,000 guaranteed. Again, 1 mile, $50,000 purse. And we're looking at 6 horses here. So this is one of the shorter fields of the game. And there are some scratches here and there. So what races, did anybody triple up in any of the races here for Stable Duel? Oh, Michael's being like, yeah.
Yeah, Michael did. I know.
Yeah, I think this one is like a perfect example of like where you would want to have multiple horses, because there's two factors at play here. One is it's the shortest field of the card today, and the second factor is the number 2 scratched. So the number 2 is 4-1 on the morning line, which is gonna change up the live odds, which that doesn't matter for Stable Duel because you're locking in at the morning line price. So for me, I looked at the number 3, and I think 6-5, even though that's paying a lot of money in Stable Duel for a single horse, I think he's going to end up closer to probably 1-2, 2-5. So the difference between that dollar amount on the morning line, that's $9,800 on the morning line, but when he goes off at 1-2 and airs, and wins by 6 lengths and gets 66 points, that's the value of a $13,000 horse in stable duel. The other thing I'll point out too is it really opens up including the number 1, because the number 1 is only $250 on stable duel, but there's only a 5-horse field. So as long as the 2 doesn't get completely distanced by the other 4 horses, that's positive points for a $250 horse that is hard to come by on a normal stable duel card. So definitely like a place you want to hone in. The first race I handicap is the race with the shortest field when I'm doing a stable duel contest.
Hey, I think that actually answers a huge question. We always talk about how some people could shift from starting at the last race because other ones run out of money on salary by starting at the first couple of races. So where you start, you pick the shortest field and you look at that one first, and that's where you start your strategy.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's helped me a lot is kind of waiting as long as you can to start really strategizing, because if you kind of look at the card the day before, you might kind of get stuck into some opinions that that you want to use anyway, but scratches, surface changes, things like that are going to kind of throw a wrench into your plan. So I kind of try to wait as long as I can to start looking at the card, and then try to go from there and try to find the most likely winners and the most likely long shots that won't mess you up.
Greg's over here like, you're spilling secrets. You're spilling secrets. I love it. All right. So armchair. So Matt is on the 6 in race 2. We'll start talking about race 2 for sure. Thanks, Michael. That was super helpful. So the 2 is Scratch Real Grace, which was 4-1, obviously going to greatly change up the odds. That doesn't matter in the stable duel game. They are already set. But if someone had the scratch, they could potentially replace the horse with a future race. So 6-5, Soy Tapatio. This is one of the imports with Diodoro. What do we think about this one? Is this one that you would spend the money on? A clear winner? You think it's going to win by a bunch of lengths? What are we thinking about Soy Tapatio? Matthew, we'll put you on blast first.
Yeah, that's fine. Like Michael, this is a horse I absolutely used in my stables. I think this is the horse that's just the class of the field, shipping in from out in California, and has run in some big races out in California. Has run in some, the Ali Sheba, which is a grade 2, has won a $100,000 optional claimer out west. So has had a lot of success for Doug O'Neill. Now is in the Diodoro barn, shipping up there. Just makes a lot of sense. This horse can absolutely get the distance. Sarah mentioned, Assiniboia doesn't run a lot of route races. And as a result, a lot of the horses that run at Assiniboia normally are running 6-7 furlongs. And you don't see that mile plus experience. You absolutely see that with Soy Tapatio. So I really like this horse quite a bit. To Michael's point, the 1 is intriguing. I ended up using the 4, kind of the same logic as a $3,000 horse. And I have a feeling this horse could probably hit the board. And for $3,000, as long as Soy Tapatio doesn't win by 15 lengths, we're going to be okay and get some positive points out of that.
Okay. Sarah, what's your thoughts in race 2?
Yeah, I went ahead and put the 3 in my stable as well. I think this is one of those decisions that you have to make where it seems like the most likely winner, and 50% of the people playing have used this horse as well. So it's like, if this horse wins and you're not a part of that half that used this horse, you're missing out on points that a lot of your opponents are getting. But this was also a race where I used 2 other horses as well, using that short field trick. I went with the 1 and the 4 in my stable. And with these route races at Assiniboia, you absolutely want to be inside. There's only been 10 route races run so far this year, and 6 of them were won within the first 3 posts. This is a stat that's held true over the years as well. Ed went back, I think, 10 years. And I think less than 10 route races were won by posts 4 and out. So that was my angle for pretty much the entire evening. Just use the inside. If you think the horse possibly has any chance to do well. Do I think the 1's going to win? No. But with the advantage of being inside and costing so little in the game, I had to use somewhere in my stable.
Yep, absolutely. In Assiniboia Downs games, you're going to have to find some very, very short prices. So the $250, the $50, the $100. So anything that you can think of that they're going to do better than absolute last is the best way to go for those. So here is no need to call it. Thanks for the shout out earlier. Listening. Well, awesome. We're going to have to drag you on one of these since you're showing face right now. So Razor is down here. Razor, would you like to have your moment?
Yeah, we got a couple guys in the house. Says we got Woo Voo in the house. Says yes, shot. So we'll take a quick shot. Cheers to the 50+ people in the chat, and just say thank you to Bree and Stable Duel for having me on tonight. Cheers.
Thank you for coming on, y'all. I love it. Everyone hit the like button. I love it so much.
I used 2 horses in this field.
Okay.
For Stable Duel. I don't even know what to say after they took everything. The 3 is going to win this race by open lengths, but hopefully not too much. And I hope the 5 is right there. So I took the 3 and the 5. Like I said, I took 2 horses today that are $100. So I got to splurge on a couple horses. And these are 2 of them. I went 3, 5. They did cost me a pretty penny. The 3 was 9,800, and the 5 cost me 8,000. So as you guys know, that's a lot of money since you only get 50,000. So like I said, $100 on 2 horses, and these were 2 of my biggest shots of the day, 3 and 5.
So to the point of a lot of players picking a clear favorite, is there an advantage of going against Michael? So if you know a lot of players are going to select Soy Tapatio, is there a strategy to choose against and try to get some, value somewhere else? Or would it be stupid to choose against knowing that the horse 9 times out of 10 is going to win?
Yeah, I think it just goes down to your opinion of the horse. I think it is a huge pro if your opinion is negative of that horse, because you can zig when everybody else is zagging. But like Sarah made the point earlier, if it wins and you're not on it, especially trying to find a winner on a card where it's not super easy to find one. So if you kind of pass up the layup and it is in fact just that, a layup, then you're going to be behind the 8 ball the rest of the contest. So it really boils down. Not every situation is the same. It boils down to your opinion of that specific horse that everybody's using. But in this case, I couldn't get by him, so I had to use him.
Yeah. This is not a Corniche. This is not a Corniche situation where the world knew that horse was going to run terribly, and yet people drove to the windows, and there were people who pay people good money to be on-air analysts who picked that horse to win, and that was just pretty baffling. But one of those things.
Well, as I like to say, let's see here, Friday and Saturday, you're welcome for everyone else's winning bets, because I contributed to make sure that you got paid out all Friday and all Saturday at Saratoga. So you're welcome. Guys in the chat, so we have 54 people watching right now. If you have any questions on strategies, if you have any random things to say, obviously put them in here. I'll practice with Razor. Hit the like button for us. It will move us up. And we love to know that you actually like, what we're doing and watching and playing and having a good time. And thanks for tuning in. But yes, any questions on strategy, any questions on the actual race, who you're betting, we want to know. If you want to call shots out to Razor, he's over there. He'll accept them lovingly. But we're here. So why don't we do
all my bets are already locked in, so it's not going to be any drunk betting going on.
Smart.
All my bets are locked in.
Smart.
That's probably.
I have to say that exclaimer all the time.
All right. So we went through our picks for race 2. So y'all let us know. We've got 12 minutes to post. Race 2, the odds have changed. So Plentiful, the 4 horse, which someone in the chat said that they like, they can't remember why. Currently 16-1, 8-1 morning line. Wow. So cost you $3,000 in your stable duel, but you're getting 16-1 on that Harlan's Holiday gelding. So, I mean, why not swing there? It's that time sticking firm at 3-1. Warriors map 7-1, so pretty close to the 6-1. There's some different breeding here than the last week, Sarah. I feel like last week we were learning the Manitoba breds all over. I'm seeing Leon's map, Harlan's Holiday, Strong Mandate, Courageous Cat, City Zip by City Zip. were you feeling a bit more confident when looking at some of these horses, like recognizing some of the breeding, or is it about the same for you?
I think that would matter a lot more if we were looking at maidens or more lightly raced horses that were doing something new for the first time. It would be much more reassuring to see those names in the pedigrees that I'm a little more familiar with. But when it's to the point of a stakes race where these horses have run several times, I'm not really looking at their pedigree anymore. I'm more just looking at what they've done on the track. And I mean, I think that is something that we kind of all end up floating towards. You kind of forget about the pedigree once we know who they are.
Yep, for sure. So Andy, who is with TVG, made a very good statement about Colts versus Geldings. Go check out the TVG Twitter profile and see if you can find that video. I will not repeat it because I will not do it justice. You just got to find the video. But cheers to that girl for saying, what probably all of us think quite a bit. So you're getting called out here, Razor, by Toastman Philly checking in.
Also, a big shout out to my dad. Says the 3 is a little chalky for you, Razor.
Is that your dad?
Pop. Shout out to the pops. Cheers.
I love it. We got multiple dads on
yeah.
I love it. That's great.
That's awesome. I can't even find it. Try to put. Oh, there it is. Bernie. There we go.
Love it.
I do have. So both of my parents are actually playing tonight too. So I think Stable Duel is a family game. So my
dad's never heard of Stable Duel, so I'm gonna have to teach him the next time.
Yeah,
that's why I'm playing the chalk here, Dad. We're not betting the 3 to win. It's part of my Stable Duel. Jeez, come on.
Yeah.
Strategy.
Yeah, Razor, get ready for a lot of FaceTime calls with your dad if he's anything like my dad. There's a lot of now hold on, let me pull the app up. Now, what did you say? I was like, now press the menu button and then go down to how payments work. Oh, well, you look at that. Yeah, see how much you get paid.
He'll text me during my show on Friday nights. Like, what did you say again? You're on.
All right, Razor. So for the free ride, let me see how many stables we got in here. We're gonna have you pick a number, and we're gonna have Michael pick a number. And so for the free ride, we have 362 stables. You can pick any number that you want, but whatever number you pick, we're going to give away some Assiniboia Downs swag, and it's the finishing position. So whatever stable finishes to your number will get some swag. So out of 362, 1 to 362, what's the number?
My favorite number would be 11, so I'm going to go with 11.
11. All right, so that's Razor's swag pick. Okay, so Michael, should we do yours in the 25 game, or should we stick with the free game? You tell me.
No, let's reward people for playing in the pay game.
Okay.
How many stables were in the pay game, Bree? Do you have that up?
So I think it's 160, and remember that the top 3 get some swag. So
yeah.
Find somebody. Yeah. So out of 160 stables, what's the finishing position? We'll send some swag to.
Let's give it to number 36 because that would be the first person outside of caching. So you get a little bit of a little break in.
Nice.
Free. All right. So and that's
nice.
Domables. All right. I love it. And then we're going to do some giveaways here on the live stream. So there's a lot more people here. So I'm a little worried about this wheel of names, but I'm going to do it. It'll be great. And I know.
Can I make a recommendation instead of taking your time to do all that stuff?
Yes, please.
So you make everyone press number in the chat. So you have everyone type the number 1 or the number 2, and you just have people keep pressing it like this. So you keep pressing 2 and 2 and enter, and then you just cover your eyes up. And then you select one random name, and that person wins. So it gets a lot of people to interact in the chat, and you just close your eyes, and you ain't got to waste all your time doing that spin shit.
Okay, so at one point, we just say, everyone start typing a number, and then I close my eyes and pick.
Correct. So if you see on the thing, I could just keep typing the number 2 and the number 2 and the number 2. So you have everyone type a number, and then you just close your eyes, and you know how you highlight a chat? You just close your eyes, put your mouse over it, and you pick one.
And I click it.
That's who wins.
Okay. We're not ready now, guys. Don't do it now. I know. I'm like starting to sweat. It's only race 2, y'all. Like this is a lot. Okay, we're gonna try that. I think it'll work better than probably what I'm doing for sure.
Comments in the comment sections. It works. It's wins for you and wins for them.
Okay, I love it. Yeah, see, and this is fun. People then try to aim for those positions. All right, so we've got 11 in the free ride is going to get some swag courtesy of Razor, and then 36 in the $25 game will also get some swag courtesy of Michael, and then we will do some live giveaways. Why don't we do the first live giveaway? We're going to do one after race 3 and one after race 4. So
Mikey D says swag tees. Shout out to my guy Jimmy the Bag's dad. Mikey D says swag tees.
Swag tees. And then Sarah. So Sarah, we had somebody watch your previews. You could totally do your own.
Watch the previews if you don't like winning money.
I mean, it's tough because I'm doing stuff for my actual job, and then there's stuff for my actual self, and there's
and then
a
we
balance.
rope her on these shows. So
I have no life anyway, so it's fine. But
how's the dog doing, Sarah?
the dog, she's great. She's over there in the corner. She's gonna stay with Ed while I'm away in Saratoga. So I hope I come back and she's still alive.
Oh,
That's awesome.
did I hear the dog in the live stream?
You heard someone's dog outside. That was not
okay.
my dog.
All right.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
See,
Oh. Nice. We're getting the love chat XYZ. Best adult dating.
You're
site.
popular enough that you got spammed finally. This happens to us sometimes.
There you go. That's how you know you're winning.
By the way, Bree, you've only blocked the site for 5 minutes. So
Hey,
5 minutes, we're going to come
I
back.
wanted to give them a chance to get themselves together.
You might be a big fan. So.
I know.
Yeah.
Are we sure that's not Barshoe? Like, I mean,
Yeah, right. All right, so the 5 is down to 5-2 now. We're looking at 2-5 live odds on the 3. Plentiful is staying at 12-1. Warriors map 7-1. So it's that time got bet down quite a bit. Courageous.
What happens
Go
if
ahead,
there's
Razor.
How does the
What?
point wise work for Stable Duel?
How does the what work?
How do the points work for Stable Duel if there's a dead heat?
Oh my gosh, you're gonna make me pull. I'm pretty sure.
No,
if there's
so
a
what
dead...
happens is it's you take the, like, let's say there's a dead heat for 3rd and 4th. You take the total that
For the first place winner.
Yeah, well, the same thing would happen. You take the money for 1st and 2nd, add it together, and divide it by 2.
Are
Basically.
you talking about payouts or points?
Points.
Oh,
no, I know about the payouts. I meant for Stable Duel.
I think they both get the same. They both get the if it's a dead heat for win, they both get winners points.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can go look at that in the lobby and look at rules, and I forget what the other thing says, but it is under rules in the lobby, and a dead heat is explained there. But yeah, I'm agreeing with Michael there. Did that come from? There you go, dating profile. It worked for somebody. All right, who wants to call this race? Matthew, you're ready since you're already
yeah, sure.
looking fly right there.
Thank you for giving me a short field too, by the way. That's fantastic.
The what? The short field?
Yeah, thank you for giving me the short field. So we still got 2 minutes to post, so plenty of time.
Yeah, about 10.
To still get your wagers in. Soy Tapatio, to Michael's point, would now be costing $14,000 in Stable Duel at 2-5. So getting that horse for $9,800 at this point is a bit of a deal.
And we've got updated points in the app. Please let us know where your stable is after race 1. Matt, where are you sitting after race 1 here?
I'm 20th in the free game and 35th in the $25 game, because I did not use the one in the the free game. So that's why there's a discrepancy.
Razor, where are you sitting here?
I didn't have anything in the first one, so
Okay.
I'm probably in last.
You're tied with, I'm sure, a bunch of people in last. So that's, well, actually, no, you won't be in last because some people would have gotten negative. So you're sitting in 105th in the 25. So not too bad. Sarah, where are you sitting after race 1?
I'm in a joint 35th with Matt in the paid game. And I think we have similar horses in this race as well. So,
Michael, where you at?
I am 52nd, and then a joint 105th with my 0 points with my skips, and then in the free ride, I think I also skipped the first race, so I'm a casual 227. Sitting back and make a run here in a second.
And you can follow and see other people's past performances in the app by clicking the green binoculars next to their stable names. So as you listen to this, if you see Matthew, he's Tupaloop or
Tupaloop. Yeah, Tupaloop.
Where does this come from? So I can try to learn your name.
Oh yeah, no, it's an old fraternity nickname.
Tupaloop.
Yeah, well, my nickname was Tupi. And there's a whole story behind that, which maybe we'll get into after a few more fireball shots. But but my buddy's mom, who's from Saratoga, actually, never knew. Like, she always got my nickname wrong, and she would just call me Tupaloop. Like when I came to visit her, and then that became my new nickname. So because of Mrs. Matson. So yeah, Tupaloop.
Yep. So go in there. You can follow those stables. And Sarah, you're outrun the odds, correct? So
that's me.
You see it on the screen. You can follow it in the app. And Razor, your razor sharp picks, I'm pretty sure as well, right? Yep.
Correct.
Nice and easy. So go ahead and follow those in the app if you'd like. You see the Twitter names here. We've got 52 and 102 with Tim. So he's right there with some of you. 193rd for Dennis. I mean, there needs to be a live stream where we just pray for Dennis to do well in a stable duel game. Maybe this is your one, Dennis. And then
Maybe.
Ed's got a question for you. Matt, is it an Ivy flat cap or an Irish linen flat cap?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm not even sure. I just got this 10 years ago at the Gap, I think. So I have no clue. But I do have a nice one that I actually got from Bree. You might know the place, Horse Country. That's like a fox hunting place in Warrenton, Virginia. And so I have a houndstooth patterned one as well. That's a nice one. I think that's an Irish flap. So
is that where you live, Virginia?
Yep, Northern Virginia. Live in Fairfax.
I used to live in Winchester.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Just pop over on I-66. Yeah. So I like it there. Used to stay at the Johnny Appleseed Motel back when I was a kid because my parents. I grew up in Pennsylvania, and you can't get good fireworks in Pennsylvania. So after church on Sundays, my dad would drive down to Virginia to get good fireworks right before the 4th of July. And we'd stay at the Johnny Appleseed Hotel in Winchester.
Become best friends. I was born in Lancaster, PA.
Oh, I was born in Reading. Get the hell out of here.
My whole family is from Reading, right next to Albright College.
Yeah, I lived right down the road from there. I went to Muhlenberg High School. Yeah, that's crazy. All right. Well, Razor and I are now best friends. So this is great.
That's what these live streams do. That's what they do. All right. We're still 0 minutes to post. They are walking towards the gate. Courageous is 24-1. That is the one horse. Again, to Sarah's point, it is most likely better to look at the horses on the inside rail than the out. So if you're looking for value and you want to take a swing here, the 23-1 is not too shabby. Soy Tapatio is 2-5, Plentiful 17-1, up from 8-1. It's that time 5-2, and Warriors Map just adding a little bit of value at 8-1, the 6 horse here. So Sarah, you said that you had some stuff to share. If you want me to put anything up on the screen, throw it in. I guess throw it in Twitter's private chat or something, and I can share on the screen too. You let me know.
Also, we got 50 people in the house. We only got 44 likes. Hit the like button real quick.
Smash that like button.
Hit the like button. Share, subscribe. There's a little bell next to it. Hit the bell button. You'll get notified every time Bree comes on. Some money.
And we're gonna have fun. We're gonna do giveaways. We want you to like it if we're gonna do giveaways and send them to you. David,
all right, and they're off. They're off in the Manitoba Mile. Courageous really broke pretty far in, and Soy Tapatio broke out a little bit. But going to the lead early is going to be It's That Time, the 5-2 second favorite, jockeyed by Chavian Chow, followed closely by Warriors Map and Soy Tapatio. The trailers are Plentiful and Courageous as they go into the first turn, the opening quarter of a mile, 23-3. And not surprisingly, very little change. It's That Time continues to lead them around. Warriors Map 10-1 in second place, followed very closely by Soy Tapatio, about a length back then to Plentiful in fourth, and 2 lengths back to Courageous in fifth. As they continue down the back stretch, moving at a pretty leisurely pace, all of the horses are well in hand. It's 48-1 opening half, and you still continue to see It's That Time with the lead. Warriors Map to its outside, and Soy Tapatio in third on the inside. Now Plentiful starting to make a move up. Soy Tapatio is as well. Soy Tapatio now in second and taking aim at It's That Time, who looks to be fatiguing a little bit. Plentiful also making a move on the outside. Soy Tapatio now has taken over the lead and is pulling away coming down the stretch. Plentiful making a nice bid for second. Courageous far back. And you still have Soy Tapatio pulling away. It's That Time is trying to dig in and hold on for second, but Plentiful is coming. And Soy Tapatio, the only question here is how many lengths. Looks like it's going to be close to 8 lengths to win it. And Plentiful gets second. Sarah and I get 100 points in the exacta, and it's a good day. It's That Time is third.
You got to give Plentiful some props, because that horse, you could actually tell, was putting its head forward, trying to get in front of the other one. The other one fatigued for sure. And at 20-1, I mean, that's all you can ask, is a little bit of effort off of a horse, even if it's not going to win. So Well done to whoever picked. Let's see. Oh, we're talking about Virginia, Pennsylvania. We'll get back there. Well done to anybody who picked the winners here. Obviously, for 1 to 5, Soy Tapatio, and of course now it's just looking like
Greg T got the stable dual exactor.
Who did?
Greg T.
Oh,
no! Shout out Greg T.
Nice.
Jacob liked the 4. See, number 4, Plentiful. If my app was working, please get an iPhone. But yes,
and the 4 was 20-1.
20-1, yes. Nice call on Plentiful. There you go, Jacob. You're getting good shout outs. 20-1 for the second place horse, beating It's That Time. Is at 3-1. So we'll see what the payouts get to be here. 1 to 5, over 20, over 3-1.
Bree, for that graphic that I wanted to share, I think I sent it to you earlier. If you're able to pull it up, the one for the routes.
Okay, I'm on it. Oh, yeah, you did. Nice thing.
Yeah, glad to see we got some Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania people representing in here. That's great. Yeah, and I appreciated those graphics as well, Sarah, because I was watching that.
Oh, you watched my video with
that? I did. I was like, oh, all right, I should make note of that. And it was funny, it's one of those where it's confirmation a lot of times, because I was actually on the same horse in the Manitoba Derby, but I was like, oh, well, it's good that other people that are smart that I trust.
Well, that part's debatable, but it's such a pronounced bias, and Ed is the last person to really care about a track bias, and I pay a little bit more attention to that if it's prominent. But this one was just so bad that I was like, okay, that has to change my entire strategy for the entire evening. And we just saw it play out in that race. I mean, the 2 scratched, so the others were more inside, and technically that was post 2 and 3 that finished first and second. Yeah.
And it was, the other thing, and it was interesting, I know, and you can talk about this more, but the move for the favorite in the Manitoba Derby from the inside all the way to the outside, last time breaking from the 1, now from the 8. It's funny because a lot of times in sprints, I actually look at the opposite. Horses that had been breaking on the inside, especially young horses who typically don't like breaking on the inside, and all of a sudden they get that outside post, and that's usually a real bump. And you go, oh, I like that move from inside out. It's interesting. When you're routing in this sort of a setup, it's actually kind of an opposite bias.
Right. And just to see that horse get the win last time, and there were a lot of horses in that race that are going to be in this one again that had some gate trouble in there, but they're not drawn advantageously either. So I was like, why not pick the horse that makes the most sense, that also gets a huge advantage, and the 8's going to be way over bet. And I think favorites in the Manitoba Derby have also gone 0 for 4 the past couple of years. So that's not a
Oh.
huge sample size that really matters that much. But that compounded with the post position bias, I was just like, I'm good.
I actually think the one that might end up as the favorite, which makes it a great stable duel play, but maybe not. I think it'll be really close between the 1 and the 8 for favoritism. That's why I have the 1 in all the stable duel lineups, just because of that reason alone.
Well, Sarah, do you want to talk a little bit about Hold on.
As Bree is a town by the hounds of the Baskervilles. Jesus.
My favorite part is she tried to talk while she was on mute.
You gotta read the lips. It said it's so bad. It's so bad. Okay. As I close my little dog's mouth right now.
If you have the graphic, I'm happy to talk about it. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, there's not much to talk about on the payouts of that one. Even plentiful, 20 to 1. I think a lot of people had that horse picked in the place pool. So let me go here and we'll do this one first. So what do we got here, Sarah?
So this is one of our newer things. It's called the Track Trends tool, or TTT for short. And if you just type in Google Horse Racing Nation Track Trends tool, you'll be able to pull it up. And you can separate it by individual posts as well if you want to get a more clear look. This is just for this year. So as we said earlier, there's only been 10 route races run at Assiniboia. There's going to be at least half the card, I think, tonight is route races. But as you can see, post 1 through 3, 60%, 6 out of the 10 races run so far this year. In the video that I did earlier with Ed, he actually went back several years, and this trend holds up over the past couple of years. So it's not like just this small sample size. Early speed is important, but not a complete necessity. But you got to be somewhere inside in order to be successful. So that was kind of the angle that I went with for pretty much the whole evening.
And then if we look at the sprints, what changes here?
The sprints, it's just more about having some early speed, and the post positions don't matter quite as much. So you can break, it's actually better to break from the middle in the sprints by only a small amount. So if you're between 1 and 6, you have more of an advantage than if you're out further. But as you can see, the average number of runners, there aren't always more than 6 horses in a race. So that makes plenty of sense. But you have to be forward. Horses that are closing are only winning at 17%, the stalkers 24%, but the early speed is winning almost 60% of the time. So those horses are just given such an advantage, and it makes sense since we're seeing lower level horses a lot of the time here that early speed is just so important. Bree?
Oh, Bree, you're muted. It was a profound point.
You know what I mean. So is this correct? Go to horseracing.com and type in Track Trends tool, and you will find some of those stats that Sarah was just referencing, right?
Yeah, and you can look it up for whatever you want. You can look it up for Gulfstream, for Saratoga, for Colonial, Del Mar, whatever you want.
Delaware Park, you got that?
Whatever you want.
The best track. Yeah, I don't know why you didn't mention that one first.
Shame.
I know. There's just so many.
All right, race 3. We are 14 minutes to post currently. This is a 7-horse field that we also have a scratch in, so down to a 6-horse field. The 2 here as well. Daniela Bella has scratched. Your current favorite is Hidden Grace, the 6, 2-to-1 morning line odds that cost you $9,000 in stable duel. It is 6-5 right now. Spunline, the 1 horse inside, which we were just talking about, is currently 3-2. So short, chalk on those 2. But there could be value here. So let's go Razor. Razor, who do you like in race 3?
For my stables, race 3, I used 1 horse, and that was the 6 horse, Hidden Grace. It's the morning line favorite because this horse is going to do the same exact thing as the 3 just did and win by open lengths. So I just used the 3 horse here. I used 2 horses for $9,000. That was the 3 the last race and the 6 this race. So I'm just using the 6 Hidden Grace in this one.
6 Hidden Grace. All right, Michael, who do you have in race 3?
Yeah, I thought this boiled down to a 2-horse race between the 1 and the 6, and it's kind of how it's getting bet. From a stable duel standpoint, those are the only 2 as of now that are below their morning line. So what I try to do here is kind of take the same strategy as the last race, where when there's horses that you think are likely to win, try to get the points when you can, and then try to fill it in later with the longer prices on the morning line. So I have a couple lineups with the 6 and then one lineup with the 1, just hoping to get 40 plus points from both of them, or 30 to 40 points, and then 60 plus points for the other.
Michael, if you don't mind me asking, how many lineups do you usually play in like each tournament?
As many as Bree lets me. So there's a cap, and so I normally try to play up to the cap, just because I think if I have an edge, I want to try to maximize it.
And that's in the paid and the free ones?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the free ones, you can only enter 1. And
Yeah.
so that one, but yeah, everything else. Yeah. I mean, there's sometimes like the Del Mar $1 game. I don't think there was a limit. So that was, I think I did, 4 or 5 there, but yeah.
Yep, there's a limit. They usually say on the game title, and if there says it would say no limit, or we would go up to at least 5. But yeah, feedback. A lot of newer players like the limits there, so 2 and 3 are kind of the sweet spot. Any free games are 1. Sometimes we'll do winner take all, 1 entry, so those are fun. Have you won one of those yet, Michael? A winner take all?
Yeah, I think so. I think some of the high dollar winner take alls, they get like 10 to 12 entries. So I'll sometimes snag one of those, but those are tough.
Yep.
Now, do you do bet regular horses as well, or just stable duel, Mike?
I probably should stick to stable duel, but I bet regular horses as well too. But I am the pick 5 carryover here at the Assiniboia too. Since I capped the card for stable duel, might as well take a shot at that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Matthew, are you sticking with the chalky ones here? Is that part of your strategy, or are you going off that straight path?
First of all, we got the love chat back, and
all right,
second of all, and so no, I'm actually going against chalk here. So because I went pretty heavy on chalk in the first 2 races with the 5 in the first race and the 3 in the last one. So I actually went with the 7 in this race, big stretch, 6 to 1 on the morning line, $5,000, which is right around your average stable duel cost. Part of the reason for this is I just think this is a horse that's going to come running late and is going to pick up some pieces. There's a fair amount of speed in this race. If you look, I think the 2, the 3, and the 2, the 3, or the 3, the 4, I'm sorry, and the 5 and even the 6 all have pretty good early speed. And so if there's a little bit of a pace pressure up front, that 7's got the best late speed in the field, and stretching out to a mile, I kind of like it. And so I again, you're going to have to save some money in different places. And so I just went with the 7 big stretching out to a mile.
So Tim let us know his strategy, a little different strategy for me. I couldn't separate the 1, 4, and 6. So we sat this race. For the price of those 3 horses, I thought I could find winners in other races. Yeah, and that's the choices that you're going to have to make in stable duel games, which is the cool thing about the strategy. Can be tough sometimes. Also, the ability to do a couple entries helps out too, because you could employ that strategy to pick them or not to pick them. The love chat is... I'm sorry, Razor. I keep blocking your love chat sites, which I'm sure you're bringing in here, according to Dennis.
Me spamming the chat on my phone. I apologize.
So that's great. So who did I miss? Sarah, did we talk about yours?
Oh!
Razor just hit
excited.
something.
What'd you hit, Razor?
I have the Reds and the under in the baseball game. The Reds are up 3-0, bottom of the 9th. But they got 2 men on the Marlins. But there was a big strikeout, so that's why I got a little excited. I need 2 more out.
All right.
You're not just getting horse racing action here, folks. You're getting it all.
The chat would agree.
Oh.
Sarah, what's your big opinion in race 3?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of went with the data that I shared. I went with the 1 in this race. Just looked very logical, short price, but looking at the horses that were drawn to the outside where I felt a lot of people were going to go and they might be better horses, I just kept those stats in mind about how the outside posts don't do as well. So if I think there's a horse that's just as good that gets the advantage of the inside, that's where I wanted to go.
It's interesting. I actually use that same logic in picking the 7, and the 7 doesn't have early speed, and so my thought is everybody's going to go, and the 7's just going to duck inside and just kind of save ground. I mean, I hope. I mean, we'll see what ends up happening, but I just hope. I mean, that's the concern. I just don't want that horse to get strung wide. But,
yeah, I mean, weirdly, it kind of doesn't seem to matter with the way that the posts are there. Like you would think that like if they can break and get to the rail, that it's just the rail, but it's really like if you break from those 3 gates, you automatically have some sort of advantage, no matter where you go after that. So
interesting.
Oh, see, this is great. Our live stream is setting people up with love on the side. All that matters. All right, so we are 7 minutes to post. The jockeys have just mounted up for race 3, which is the $50,000 guaranteed 37th running of Escape Clause. Again, we've got 6 horses running here, 2 chalky favorites. I don't know. Maybe this could be the bomb. I don't know how many bombs we're going to see tonight, which is interesting. Love Chat is following. I'm not explaining where this reference comes from, but I'm both glad that you know that, Colin, and scared that you listened to the Spaces, whatever it was. All right. So yes, did anybody share their pick 5 tickets if you have them? Yep. I know Razor's got one. I know Michael's got one. If you want to wait until the race goes off, that's perfectly fine. Understand. If you've got pick 5s and you want to share them in the chat, share them in the chat. Anything else you want to share? Obviously, we're here. 6 minutes to post. The Bugler is just playing its tune. And let's see. Odds are pretty much spot on. Ain't She Darling? The number 5 has gone from 10-1 to 21-1. Hidden Grace, 8-5. Big Stretch, 8-1. That 7 horse that Matthew was referencing, up from 6-1. So, I mean, really, your only huge fluctuation here is the 5 horse at 21-1 from 10-1. So they're on the track. Who wants to call this one? Michael, are you ready to call one?
I think I am. Yeah.
Okay.
The Escape Clause Stakes at Assiniboia Downs has always been what I wanted to be my debut race call.
Dreams coming true.
Yeah.
4 more likes for 50. Let's take a shot at 50. If you have not liked this YouTube extraordinaire, like it in the YouTube. You know you're staring at it. Razor can do that much better. Razor, take over. Make people like this.
Right now we have 45 plus people in the chat. If you haven't already, hit the like button down below, share and subscribe. We got a bottle of Fireball, so let's take a shot. We've been live for 108 minutes, which is an hour and 8 minutes. So press the like button, share, turn your notifications on. Also, make sure you follow Stable Duel on Twitter. Also, make sure you check out StableDuel.com. Turn your notifications on. Get notified every time Bree and Stable Duel goes live. Cheers to everybody. Hiya!
Did the Reds get the under? You get the under in the Reds game, Razor?
It's still bottom of the 9th. We got 2 outs, 0-2 now, and it is 3-1. So this is a big pitch right here.
All right.
All right, so we still got 4 minutes to post. Let's do our first giveaway here. So I don't know exactly how this is working, but in the chat, if you are listening right now, get over to your keyboards, get on your phone, whatever it is, and we just need you to hit one number, or they can hit as many as they want.
You pick the number you want everyone to type.
Oh, 6. Everybody type in 6 and send, and then we're eventually going to pick one winner. And we're going to give you...
type in the number 6 like this. Just keep hitting the number 6 and enter. Bree is going to type one person. She's going to pick one person to win a Stable Duel. What are we giving away the first time? A hat?
A t-shirt or a hat? A t-shirt or a hat? Do I just pick one now?
Type in the number 6. And in 10 seconds, Bree is going to pick one person. That one person is going to win a Stable Duel hat or t-shirt. Everyone type in the number 6. Six enter. Pick 6 enter. Bree, pick one of those people who typed in the number 6.
There we
Candy
go.
Clapping is the winner.
All right. That's kind of crazy. I like it though.
You really need a hype man like Razor to make that happen.
I know.
Mhm.
I know. Who knew? I love it.
Throw it. What are you doing? Bases
Right,
loaded. 2 outs.
Oh, Jesus.
3-1.
It's like the Phillies bullpen. Christ.
All right, so we got our first winner. So I'm typing it in here, and we'll do this again. Ping. SD Twitter. All right.
Got a warning from YouTube for spamming.
Yeah, no, we'll get kicked off. All right, 2 minutes to post to race 3. They're heading to the gate right now. We're gonna have Michael call this one. Put this in the big video here. Let's see here. Spun line. I have massive anxiety to call a race, y'all. So I just might make y'all just do it for tonight. Not on my A game.
I was listening to Pete down in Gulfstream earlier today, trying to get some of that energy. Just trying to get some of that energy. Who do you like? I always love it when he does that when there are like 3 of them at the top of the stretch, and I was like that call. So.
Only one of the night. I love it. All right, the countdown at Assiniboia Downs in 3, 2, 1. They're 1 minute to post. Let's see. Anybody see any of the horses that they like on view? We talk about kind of the paddock picks here. 3's not looking too shabby. If you like any of the ones, I think we had winners picked last time. Henry, I don't know if Henry picked one potentially. But if you like any of the paddock picks, we want to hear it here.
Gotta get my setup here. Make sure I call this professionally. It's nice. Is this race the one where is this one of the tracks where they have the colors of the silks or no?
Yes.
They switched it, but they switched it up for the stakes race here. They're gonna throw me for a loop. They got the owner's silk
Gosh.
Yeah.
in the flesh here.
Yeah, we're looking at real silks. Goodness, Assiniboia Downs.
But it's be glad you're getting one early, because with the sun you can actually see the colors pretty well. I remember I called one at night, and with the reflection of the lights, you just like coming down the stretch, I'm just like, I don't know, a horse is passing another horse. I have no idea who's doing anything.
That's the motherfucking ball.
Get
There we
it?
go. The Reds.
Final score. You know what we do? We press the motherfucking button. Cash it. Shot time. Let's go. See that? Oh. 3-1.
Get it, Razor. Get it.
Everybody in the chat.
3-1. Maybe that's the exact
Cheers,
we should play
Razor.
here.
All right, people are throwing out their paddock picks. Todd likes the 6. I'm with Matt, 7 across the board. Big on the show. Other than the 6, Tim thinks the 5 looks really good on track. Ren is saying hello. What up? Put Michael back over here. Gosh, I feel like they're in the same exact place.
Yeah, we're still 2 minutes to post. So.
Oh, I caught it.
Yeah. The price on the 5s floated back down to morning line, or actually a little bit below morning line, or the 7, I should say, is floated back down to 5-1. So.
Where's everybody's stables at? We've got an update for races 1 and 2. Scores are in. Let me know. Now we're going to start to see people separating.
I'm in 5th in the $25 game and 13th in the free ride.
Okay.
So,
Sarah, where you at?
Let's see. I'm in 10th place right now.
Nice.
So
I like that.
so
Michael?
I am in 37th, so I'm 1 spot away from trying to get that hat.
Free swag.
It was really just a ploy to get the hat, where I thought my stable was going to finish based on the first couple races. 37th, 41st, and a favorite number of some, 69.
69. All right. Razor, where you at? You're already winning on one sport. Where you at on this one?
I'm sitting okay. I'm not mad at it. I'm in 60th in the money, and I'm in 99th in the free one. But my horses, the 3 got me 66.5 points, and the 5 in the last race got me 22.75. So I got plus money on both of them. So I think I'm okay. I mean, I'm not Sarah. I'm in the top 5, but I'm getting there.
I mean, Matt's in the top 5.
Well, it's early. It's early. Gonna fade. We'll see. Yeah, it's always tough. I mean, I know some people, Michael, I know you today at Colonial went out big early. Like you had, I think by like the third race, you were up to like 220 points or something like that. Like that, it's just, I just always struggle with those strategies of like, do I just go super big the first 3-4 races? I used to do that in Gulfstream sometimes, like during the non-championship meet or like before I used to just do the Louis Saez early pick 3 and just go like Saez the first 3 races and spend like $25,000 on 3 horses, but get 3 winners. But then I just always struggle at like, do I really want to use this $500 horse in the last race and like finish with a negative? I just always struggle.
Yeah, Colonial is one of the tracks that their early races are smaller fields. Yeah. I think they just try to keep those races out of the pick 5, and then they keep the pick 5 races with like the 12 horse, the 14 horse, $10,000 claimers to close it out. They love that.
Hey, Michael, I got a question for you. Who do you like in the last race at Assiniboia?
I like the 9. I think that jockey trainer combo, it's lights out here. I think it's first off a trainer switch. I can't remember if that's right.
You're right.
Yep.
Yeah. I just think I'm going to wake up for the new barn and 15-1 morning line. Probably won't get that in the tote, but it'll be blind in the pick 5 pool. So, and it'll be $500 on Stable Duel. So that's where I landed on that race.
Do you have anything on the 5 horse?
I think the 5 horse is will also be bet down off the 25-1. I think I had it written down as 9, 8, 4, 5. Okay.
Because I did a group ticket with me and 7 others. Big shout out to my guy Guillermo Zertucci, Kevin Reed, Mikey P, Mikey D, Matt Janney. We did the all with the 5 in the last leg.
Alrighty.
Where's the ticket police?
Yeah.
So
you're really losing a lot of equity early if the favorite wins.
It cost us $100 each. And if you think the 5 wins at the end, you have to take the pool almost. If not, you're going to be one of the winners. It's got to pay huge if you get 3 prices in there.
If you go all chalk and then to the 5, though.
And a guaranteed pool, though.
We got 1 out for the Escape Clause Stakes.
There we go.
Field of 6 fillies and mares.
Stakes race, big one. Everyone's going to be taking the chalk, and the chalk's not going to win. So a lot of people are going to single there or take 2 horses in that race, right? If they're going to do the pick 5.
Yeah. I wish you luck.
Oh, it's a crazy bet. It's a crazy bet.
They are racing at Assiniboia Downs. Spun line with a good break at the rail, but being hustled up between horses. That's going to be Cypress Point, the longest shot on the boards, challenging the favorite for the lead, which is Hidden Grace, just to her outside. Spun line tracking in 3rd, got a nice spot behind the Speed Duel. Texas Rain in 4th, and then you come back to Ain't She Darlin', and the trailer is Big Stretch. 22-3, they rocketed through that first quarter mile. It's a pitched battle on the front end between Cypress Point, but Hidden Grace is getting the better of that rival. And then Spun Line is back in third. Texas Rain is being nudged on in the fourth position. Big Stretch making a nice move on the outside in fifth. Ain't She Darlin' still trailing the field. Hidden Grace has taken over at 2-1 on the line, now being challenged on the outside by Spun Line. Big Stretch making a move, 3 wide on the turn. It's back a couple lengths back to Texas Rain and Ain't She Darlin' as they come into the stretch. Hidden Grace has taken over and has opened up a 3.5.
Open up, Grace!
Here comes Spun Line with the rally. Big Stretch also coming after it. Texas Rain is the only danger left. Hidden Grace looking for the line. Texas Rain coming after her. As they come down to the wire, Hidden Grace just in time. Texas Rain was second, and it was a little bit back to, I think it was Spun Line in third.
Nice call.
Big Stretch got third.
It was Big
Yeah,
Stretch.
I think the 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still super well. Big Stretch 5-1. Other than that, pretty chalky try right there. Nicely done, Michael. Goodness.
Yeah, that was great work.
Yeah.
An exception to the bias.
Hidden
Yeah.
Grace.
Well, they went super fast.
They went fast, yeah.
Yeah, they went
Yeah.
fast. And
I would just like
was
it to be
impressive by the
noted
6.
that the 6 was the number for the giveaway and the 6 was the winner. So
Ooh.
things, angles,
Nostradamus. All right, there you go.
All right, let's see what people. Let's see.
That was great. Michael, can Michael be our full-time race caller?
I know. Look, now
Promoted.
you're getting
I'm just
props.
glad. A lot of times when I try to do a race call, like just an unidentified accent will come out, just like a mixture of Trevor Denman with a little bit of like an Australian race caller. And I think, and watching the Assiniboia Downs, you never know if you're gonna have something come up where you're like, and on the outside, here comes, you just don't know what accent is gonna come out.
Looking good. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to see too many prices there. So the 6 horse was 2-1. The 4 horse Texas Rain 2-1. Big Stretch, that 7 horse that came up for third, 5-1. And the only value that really came up was the 16-1 Ain't She Darlin'. Finished fourth here. So I don't maybe it's just me. It seemed like a really sunny day at Assiniboia. I think the sun came out for Manitoba Derby Day.
God shines bright on Manitoba.
Victoria Payoff.
Yeah. So the other thing I noticed about that race was the 7 really likes to run with other horses, because the 7 was just like hanging out with the 1, and then all of a sudden the 4 went past, and the 7 was like, "Hey, I got a new buddy I can run with," and just started running. All of a sudden, picked up speed, and I was like, "Oh, great! Maybe try to pack it past other horses sometimes."
There was a filly in a partnership that I was good friends with, and she's the sweetest thing. And they always said that she just wanted everyone else to win, so she'd be racing, and then she'd be like, "Go get them, guys! Good job, go get them!" She just was not. She was not a race to win type gal. She was a race to participate. So
yeah,
for sure. All right. So we've got the prices. So Hidden Grace, $6 to win. Texas Rain only $280 to place, and then Big Stretch $270 for your show. $990 or $1040 for an exacta 6-4. So I guess could be worse. Could be worse.
not bad.
But not bad picks in Stable Duel for having some winners there.
Yeah.
So congrats to anybody that picked them. Congrats to Michael, and thank you for one heck of a first-time call. That was great. Someone said that you have a combination of Fergie and Jesus for a race call voice. So
That was what I was going for.
How about that?
Yeah.
absolutely. Participation trophies. Dennis is calling that out. That's fair. That's fair. All right, so we're on to race 4 here. So again, we're going to stay live through Manitoba Derby, which is the 6th race, $100,000, a mile and an eighth. Who knew that even existed at this racetrack? So I'm excited to see it. But we're on race 4, which is a mile allowance optional claiming, only 15,000. Rail splitter, I remember a lot of people were on the other week and just did not come to fruition. Is anybody selecting rail splitter in this race for the inside speed angle? Sarah, let's talk about angles with you. And I think you were on rail splitter No, I guess it was 2 weeks ago. So race 4, what are you thinking for rail splitter? Yay or nay?
Yeah, I used it in my stable. I don't know that I would take this horse as the most likely win candidate, but broke from post 1 last time, going 7 furlong, so not quite a route in terms of what the data is looking at. However, the note does say wide and rallied and still got 3rd. So, I mean, it doesn't really seem to matter if it's the post and then they end up going wide, or if it's an outside post and then they go in to save ground. But I'm just going to ride my ones angle. Didn't work out in the last race, but I also feel like that horse was kind of in the teeth of a really quick pace early and kind of just got cooked and gave up and was facing some horses that were just better.
That's fair. What about you, Matthew? Who you on with this one?
Yeah, I am on the 1 as well, but I doubled up in this race. So I do, much like what Sarah was saying, I kind of stuck to the inside angle. Rail splitter is a horse I liked 2 weeks ago. I still like the horse a lot. It just wasn't the best trip. But the other horse I'm using here is the 4, or the 3, I should say, G's Turn. And I always think of our good friend Gina Bacola whenever I see this horse. This was a horse I really liked and used quite a bit actually down at Sam Houston over the winter and early spring. It's a horse that can absolutely get the distance. If this horse can run back to the way it ran at Sam Houston, it definitely has a shot here, I think. So, last time out wasn't great, but this horse has been pretty consistent, 7 wins at the distance in its career. So something to like, especially since it's only 10-1 on the morning line, only cost you $1,000 in stable duel. So again, gonna have to save money somewhere. I know a lot of us have been going pretty chalk heavy early, and so got to start saving money.
Yep, for sure. Razor, who do you got? Race 4.
He was talking about saving money, and that's what I did this race. I am on the 2 and the 4. The 2, Golden Eyed, is right now 7-2, morning line 4-1. I expect this horse to be closer to like 3-1, 5-2-ish. So I think I'm getting good value on the 2 here. I also like the 4, Wicked Fortitude. I like the jockey trainer combo. The jockey's hot, the trainer's hot. You can't go wrong with this horse. This horse has raced 33 times. He's been in the money about 22 of them. So I like the 4 with the jockey trainer combo. I went 2 horses here in race 4, 2 and 4. But in my pick 5, I have the all. So I'm hoping the 7 wins. Tap Master.
Tap Master. Michael, who do you have in race 4?
I actually have the 4 as well, Wicked Fortitude. That trainer jockey combo, I think, is something that's been paying off a lot in these Assiniboia contests over the past couple weeks. Jared Brown and Carreno. Interesting that Carreno, it's probably because it's his main guy in Brown as the trainer, but jumped off the 1 to ride Wicked Fortitude, who I think is going to be the speed of the speed. The distance is definitely a question mark, and I normally like to stay away from horses in stable duel that are stretching out and haven't proven it before, because those are the types of ones that a lot of times will, just drop out the back if they can't handle the distance. But with this jockey trainer combo and the fact that I think the pace won't be too fast, I landed on Wicked Fortitude, hopefully to get a little bit of a price. I'm not sure what he's sitting at. He's at 5-1 right now, so that would be fair.
Nice. Yeah, so we're talking about jockey trainers. So talking about the jockeys, if you go to the player profile, player portal on Assiniboia Downs website, you can look at the 2022 jockey bios. And there's some really cool facts, including their age, where they're from, what they have done pre-Assiniboia Downs. But for Jorge Carreno, he won the 2021 Assiniboia Downs riding title in his first year there, had 80 victories, 31 more than the closest finisher here. So that's kind of crazy. Obviously a powerhouse here. So if you wanted to just pick on jockeys, take a look at his mouse in general. He does very well. Jockey trainer combos, Razor always brings those up. So that's fantastic as well. But head over to the player profile at Assiniboia Downs website if you want to learn more about the jocks. We also put it in the Stable Duel email both last week and this week for fun facts. Curtis has a question.
50 likes. Are you ready for that shot of Fireball?
I'm ready for you. You ready?
Oh, no. I'm ready for you. I saw the Fireball behind you. I'll wait. I got all night. I'll wait.
Okay. I'll do one with you.
I'll wait. Go ahead.
I'll do one with you after race 4.
I'll still take one now. I'll take one now. Shout out to the 50 plus people. We're at 53 likes. We're trying to get to 60. Hit the like button down below, share and subscribe. Shout out to our guy Greg T in the house, Henry, Curtis, who thinks I have to pay the local frat house for rent. Here's to you, my guy, with you and your MySpace picture. Cheers to Curtis and everybody in the chat.
I love it. All right, so we've got Greg T all over 2 in this one, stretches out after back-to-back wins at 6 and 5.5 furlongs, not much speed, and is a closer. Equine Edge figures. Also has it as a top genetic strength rating at this distance. Yeah, so we talk about data all the time in horse racing. If you like a particular data source, site, person, whatever, drop it in the chat. It's always great for people to see what other people like. Armchair himself does his own data, so it's always interesting to see him. Ask him questions if you got it, but drop what data you use, whether it's past performances. If you only use the horse details in the Stable Duel app, that's great too. If you're looking for more data, I know Horse Racing Nation, we put up the info to search for trends, but there's a ton of data on their website. So if Sarah brings anything up, write it down, take notes. Michael, what are some of your data plays, sources? What do you like? Where do you pull your info from?
Yeah, I'm pretty old school when it comes to data. I like to use the Daily Racing Form, and then I also like Timeform US. So I think one of the things they do good is, or they do well, is showing if it's a fast pace or slow pace that's predicted. For example, this upcoming 4th race at Assiniboia is predicted to be a slow pace, so favoring the horses that are on or near the lead. And that's partially how I landed on the number 4. It helps cut through some of it helps you speed up your handicapping by getting that piece out of the way early. And then I'll throw a plug out there for one of the things that Sarah's company produces, especially for Stable Duel, the horses to single report. So if finding the winners.
I think it's wrong tonight, but
does it fail tonight? I didn't get a chance to check it out for tonight, but if you can finding the winners is probably the biggest thing that'll help you win a Stable Duel contest, even if they are high-priced winners, because just getting that piece done, and then you can fill in the rest with middle-priced and horses that you hope finish 4th or 5th. But the faster you can find the winners, no matter what price they are, the better you're going to be at this game.
Yeah, that's fair. And Matt, you're old school yourself too. You stick with the PPs and kind of pull most of your picks or all of your picks from that.
Yep. Like Michael, just give me a PP. I mean, I like using DRF's formulator just because I love digging back into pedigree a lot. And so being able to look back, especially in maiden races, looking at firsters, looking at, percent on route racing on turf, I hit a couple of winners at Saratoga basically based off pedigree, over the weekend. So definitely like using that. Like Michael, Timeform US, love using the pace projections. That's a huge benefit, just knowing kind of who's going to be sitting where early. So that's always great. And despite the fact that my job is actually like doing data analysis, I don't like using a lot of data otherwise. And maybe I'm old school, but you start putting shapes and colors. I'm just like, I get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't know what am I looking at? That's a big square. And then you don't want to look at the small triangle at the bottom. Like, shut up, stop it. Like, if it works for you, great. Like, I have no problem. I know people who produce those sorts of things. They do a great job with it. But like, it's just not for me. Like, and Bree, you and I have talked offline about this. Like, it takes a while to get used to even using something like Timeform. Like, you have to get used to it. So I know what I know, and I stick to that. So
it does. Yeah, we talk about Ed's love of BrizNet, obviously. I think BrizNet probably is the bee's knees, but it is just overwhelming to me still, so I haven't dove into that. We have Spot Plays, HRT, which does an awesome thing about pace projections, early, middle, late, very interesting. There's just a ton of info and data. Lots to talk about here. So I appreciate anybody, putting their data out there. Shout out to Bourbon Colony. What's up? We've missed you for the first hour and a half. So I'm glad that you're here. Tim does the formulator, and in the DRF formulator, you can watch the replays there as well. So that's always interesting. And some people live by replays.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sarah, you might want to let Ed know. You can watch the replays in DR formulator,
Well, he doesn't use that program. He uses BrizNet. So.
Oh, I trust me. Everybody knows what Ed uses. So.
Yes. He's a numbers guy, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Armchair. So Matt from Armchair Handicapping loves data. Yeah, we're gonna pull you on here so you can talk about your data on the show. But as we move into race 4, we are 10 minutes to post. They are getting their saddles, getting tacked up right now. We all kind of went through who we liked in this one. We'll update on the odds. Rail Splitter 3-1 morning line cost you $8,000 in the Stable Duel app is currently 5-1, 7-2 for Golden Eye. Speaking of Golden Eye, did any of you all play that Nintendo 64 game Golden Eye 007? Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, I sucked at it. I
did too.
I was that person who couldn't figure out how to select a weapon, and I would just go around like karate chopping people because I couldn't like figure out how to get it done. And so, like, all my friends would be like, "Oh, killed Matthew!" Boom, boom, boom. Like, just my screen was red all the time.
It was like it was kind of like the first generation of like what everything came from, right? Like Fortnite, all of these games, which I probably would just go in circles. I couldn't even play GoldenEye, so I'm pretty sure I would be terrible at all of those games. So Chris right there is the Spot Plays HRT. Yep. Also very much into data himself, but he says he's a Briz guy. So there you go. All right, Dennis. Dennis is DRF, BrizNet Timeform. Pace makes the race. We did have like a whole thing of that last time. Best menu music ever. Yes, that's very true. Okay, so let's go back here. Finish. So GoldenEye is the 2-horse 7-2. G's Turn 4-1, down from 10-1. So the public is putting some money behind that. Wicked Fortitude. A couple likes here in the chat and on the live stream. Sticking Firm at 6-1. Mr. Dazzle 2-1. Life's been good so far. 9-1 in the 6 hole. And Tapmaster all the way on the outside is 7-1. Tapmaster is by Tappet. Well.
All right, Dr. Evil. Like, speaking of,
Well. I did talk to somebody that they were like, if I owned horses, I would just send them up to like Assiniboia Downs Manitoba Derby Day. And I'm like, yeah, what a great idea. However, it's probably very difficult to get there from, like most places, just because it's not as if it's next door.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. But Robertino took your advice, went straight up there, and he's doing all right so far.
He was there a couple weeks ago too. There's two of those. Yeah. 2 of those. Okay. So Bourbon Collie's on the 3, G's Turn. I think the 7-year-old has a good race in him tonight. Got some value there. We've got Mike Whalen on the 2. 5-win from Mikey P. These are Razor guys. In usually does pretty well. What do we got here? We're looking at data. His own numbers lead the price. In, who do you like in race 4? Lots lots to talk about here.
Do horses need passports from Dennis?
Probably.
No, but if they're going into Canada, you need to be vaccinated. So
Need the Coggins.
You're getting a good price on this 2-horse, 7-2.
yeah.
7-2. Should I call this one? I don't know. Who hasn't called yet?
You should.
So it's me and Sarah.
I think.
But you don't ever call them, so you should do it.
Also,
I have called them. I have called one at least every live stream. One was completely off. One was I lost a horse mid-race. It was tucked in between two. I hope that was noted. All right, I need to. Since
I remember that. Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
That was.
I was like, I
that
don't know
horse
where the
was
5
hidden.
went.
Yeah.
Well, if I do this one, then you have to do the Derby.
In a huge upset, Love Chat XYZ is back, baby.
Oh wow, they're fine. They're finding other ways in. All right, blocked. Boom. Huge upset. No, that means I'm doing this one. Thank you, Sarah, for noting that. I have to write down the numbers and names because I think the last time I had a really good call, I actually had the PPs printed out in front of me, and now I don't. So I at least need to. I gotta do a little navigation work here.
For a second, I was looking at the names of the horses in the next race. For a second, I thought we had
This is Taiba. Yes.
Enough to have take down
You have Life is Good in here, and then Taba in the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
These are like the off-brand cereals that your parents bought when you were little.
Yeah, it's like going to Aldi and getting the
yeah.
Not quite. Yeah.
So, all right, where's everybody's stables at? Let's get an update here.
I don't think it's updated. I just looked,
Okay.
So.
I was doing good in checking before I would ask that question.
Yeah, it must not be updated because it doesn't say I'm in first place.
Yeah.
Why was the 3?
Well, we got a
got?
couple minutes left. We're going to take another shot because right now we have 50 plus people. We did hit the 50 likes. We hit 56 likes. So this shot is for Bree and for Stable Duel. Shout out to them because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So cheers to everybody in the chat. If you haven't hit the like button down below, share and subscribe. It's an honor to be on screen with everyone here. My girl Bree, my girl Sarah, and my guys Matthew and Michael. I appreciate you guys. Let's win some fucking money. Cheers!
Do it.
Cheers. Yeah, let's get some value in this one. Are we hoping Mr. Dazzle loses? Is anyone hoping that the 5 loses? I think so, right?
Well, yeah.
I
don't think
know
anybody's on the
Razor's
5,
hoping.
so like, right.
Yeah, the 5's a rat, as we call it.
5 is a rat.
As we call it.
As they call it. That's the best part. Just like attributing that to like some other source, like as they.
Mhm.
They
knew.
They did. Yeah, they always know. So.
I think the worst one that I've seen probably ever was that big woo horse at Saratoga. That everybody was nothing.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah. Did not know.
And I like the horse that was the morning line favorite, and then I got a great price, and I had the try, and that was like my only winning Saratoga bet for the whole meet so far.
Oh, poor Sarah.
Saratoga has been rough.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah. I hit 2 8-1s early Sunday, and that was like, all right, like we're not gonna really press it too much the rest of the day. Like we're good. So,
did my thing.
And then I should have freaking bet Gunnet in the Amsterdam. I love that horse, and for some, I talked myself out of it, and I was like, all right. I mean, I ended up not betting on anybody, but it was still one of those.
At least you didn't bet Corniche. Could have been worse.
Yeah.
Just baffling the people betting that horse. I mean, I have to admit, I was shocked. I know he had not been working out well, but I was shocked it was that bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, they have a built-in excuse now with the frog, with the hoof, and he's going to take some time off. And...
He'll retire at probably like maybe October 13th. There'll be like a DRF notice.
No,
For
he
these
won't even hear the
champions
notice.
who are
He'll just peter out.
retired
Yeah.
to stand for 30K.
Yeah. That might end up being the worst Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Like,
You know what I think was the worst?
it's pretty bad. I mean, not the worst, but it's pretty bad.
Storm the Court.
Oh, I saw somebody say that the other day. Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
worst.
Yeah.
And he's still running, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
like not
well,
in
yeah,
that race,
certainly.
but
Yeah.
he's still in training.
So what happened to my cup of Colonial? Full disclosure, just didn't think I could pull it off daily, and I was probably correct. So I lose my I can't even have headphones in for one live stream a night.
That was fun.
It was,
That was when I first got to know you. Was like,
Yes.
just like following you. I just remember you were at a random diner like in West Virginia, and you're like, "Hey, everybody, I'm just here, like heading to like Colonial Downs. It's 6 a.m." And I'm like, "Good Lord, this woman's been on the road since 2."
I know. Yeah, that was a road trip. Yeah, the people in the diner were like, "Who is this person live streaming in a dress?" They were not in dresses at all, by the way. Yeah, it was a whole thing. No, super fun. And actually that's some of the best betting I ever did was Colonial Downs, just because I paid attention to every race day, the whole entire card. And I just did very well. Have not done that well because I haven't been paying attention that way. So definitely follow the people that pay attention to tracks that way. Everyone here. Because they pay attention to trends, to jockeys, trainers, to people that are doing well, and it definitely matters in your picks. So
I got Mike
Colonial.
in the chat. He's got sweet tickets. His wife bought him for their anniversary. VIP tickets. They get like box seats.
To Colonial?
Yeah, Colonial. You get
Nice.
you get all you get. Drinking's free, which Mikey B. He's a fireman, so he drinks all the time. But yeah, they got.
I need to become friends with him. That's not too far from where I live, Colonial.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
It
I
was
need to get
really
down there,
fun.
Michael. Yeah.
That's where I first met Michael. Matthew, I met you at Charlestown first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Sarah and I have never met in person, and Razor and I still have never met in person. But it's
And we live like an hour away from each other too.
I know. I feel like you'll be at Saratoga when I'm gone. You come to Keeneland when I'm not there. Oh, Razor's got another one.
What would be funny is if like one time Sarah's not on the like live stream, and then all of a sudden Bree's like, "Oh, there's a knock at the door," and then like Sarah like shows up.
Oh my god.
Or vice versa. Just surprised.
I mean, if I leave now, I don't think I'd get there.
I think we're at 0 minutes to post.
Yep, 0 minutes to post. They're walking. I just got Giddy Up Betts just woke up from a nap, so he might be popping on. And I think we're going to pull Dennis Trusty on because I think he wants to tell Razor what's up after this race.
We got to get Dennis on here.
Yeah. Do we have to? I mean, I guess we can have the final say there. It's up to you. Yeah, so it's talking about race callers. So Greg just chimed on that he knows a race caller. And I spoke to the race caller at Thistledown, and I know Peter from Gulfstream's awesome. I think their preparation is always probably similar but different. But they go through and they like say all the names. This is what I know, at least. They say all the names like really fast a couple times to get the names, and they're like mouths trained to the name so that when the race goes off, like the names just come off a bit easier rather than saying it for the first time. Is there anything anybody else knows about some of the race callers and what some of their strategies are?
I just see like colored pencils for most of them. Or like the sets of markers and the whole art setup.
Yeah, I know Colmus has like flashcards with the silks and the name on it. And so he like kind of quizzes himself constantly with the silks and the names for the big races, so that NBC did a bit on this, like a 2-minute feature on this a couple of years ago. But he just kind of constantly quizzes himself because with 20 horses, good luck figuring out who's anywhere. I mean, good Lord.
Right.
I would never want to do that.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, go.
I was just saying, I've been in the booth with Travis, and he has like a whole set of markers that he uses. So.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I remember in college, they brought like one of the auctioneers in to like teach us as college students, like how auctioneers work and that they have this word that they end up saying over and over again. And I've always like put kind of the race callers into that category of like training, your mind to work quickly, but your mouth is steady on whatever it's supposed to, like, I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyways. Yes, Razor took a little bit of break. All right, so we are still 0 minutes to post, but hopefully they're not doing a bunch of circles. The jackpot pick 5, holy cannoli, is over $1 million
awesome.
tonight. I don't think we've seen that at Assiniboia Downs, so that's awesome. If you are in the jackpot pick 5, good luck. Over $1 million right now, and it's still got, I would say 5 minutes to grow the way that the 0 minutes to post. There we go. It's still growing right now.
Yeah, they're walking though. I think they're done circling. We'll see.
All right. And then the mandatory payout pick 5 is over 500,000. So lots of money to be won tonight. Still growing. Goodness.
But pretty chalky, thus far. Yeah. Pretty chalky up top at least. So we'll see. Let's see if we can catch a price here in one of these races.
Still going potty. Tom's rooting for that pick 5. I love it. Bourbon Collie loves Pete from Gulfstream. Maybe we can get some of these people onto our Assiniboia Downs live streams. Why not?
I bet you could get who's the guy at Parks? Chris?
Oh, Chris Griffin?
Chris Griffin.
I always want it to be Family Guy Chris Griffin voice.
I could see
just
that.
One day, swap it.
Love it.
Yeah, he does an awesome job. If y'all don't follow him on Twitter, look up Chris Griffin on Twitter. Jake is called. I know. We're trying to get him on here, Jake. We're trying to get him on here. He's
the best rested handicapper out of all of us, apparently.
He had a big day yesterday, I guess, is usually what it's chalked up to be.
It happens.
All right, let's go through the odds here. So Rail Splitter, 3-1 morning line is 7-2. Golden Eye sitting at 4-1. G's Turn bet down at 9-2 from 10-1 morning line odds. Back to the 4 here. Wicked Fortitude sitting at 5-1. Mr. Dazzle kind of hanging around the 2-1, but 5-2 right now. Number 6 horse, Life's been good so far. I'm trying to practice so that I can get this out for the race call. It's going great, swimmingly. 8-1, 8-1 on the 6. And then on the outside, the 7 horse, 19-1, Tapmaster.
By Tap It. There you go.
By Tap It.
And which Bree said, well. To that.
Hopefully they got a discount potentially on that stud fee for that one.
By the way, did you see California Chrome's got a $300 stud fee?
What?
Yeah.
$300?
I mean, that's what DRF posts, and
Yikes.
that's what I saw. $300 stud fee for California Chrome.
Is he still a TaylorMade?
I have
He's
no
not
idea.
that bad. I mean,
That's got to be enough for him.
I've seen it. Mike, that's what I thought too. I saw it in 3 consecutive different racing forms.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's wrong in their system or something like that, and it just keeps misprinting. But I was stunned when I saw that.
It's got to be like $3,000 at least.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I gotta look it up.
All
Yeah,
right.
I know.
Oh, Bree, you're on.
They're going in the gate. I got my notepad. I'm ready.
All right.
Oh, G's Turn. Wicked Fortitude. Is this the allowance optional claimer? I can't remember.
I think so. Yes.
All right, Matthew. In 2021, it was $2,000.
So probably 3. It's probably 3.
So it may have changed.
Yeah.
All right, they're out of the gate. Actually, pretty decently clean break, if you ask me. 1 Rail Splitter is staying on the inside, trying to get to the front, but the 7 on the outside, Tapmaster, the longest shot on the board, is setting the pace here at a very quick lick. 7 Tapmaster in front with 1 and 4 Wicked Fortitude behind. Then we've got G's Turn, the 3 horse behind that, with the 5 Mr. Dazzle, the favorite here. Closing the 2 and the 6 out. Life's been good so far all the way to the back. 7, Tapmaster is still setting the pace here. 23-2 for the first quarter, right behind the 4 horse, Wicked Fortitude. 7-1 on the odds, a little bit of value. And then half a length behind that is Rail Splitter. So we've got 5 moving up on the outside. Mr. Dazzle, your favorite here, is putting some pressure on. Tapmaster still holding on to the front, but Wicked Fortitude coming up close, only a neck behind on the outside. Rail Splitter is kind of pinched in here between the favorite, Mr. Dazzle, right behind the 4, Wicked Fortitude. But Mr. Dazzle is starting to make its move around the turn. 4 seems to be tiring. Tapmaster seems to be pulling away, but I don't think it can hold on with the 5. Mr. Dazzle, the favorite, coming up, putting pressure on, but could. Tapmaster still in front. Now by 2 lengths, 3 lengths. Holy crap, here's your bomb. Here's a Tapmaster.
Stay up!
We could have a close on the outside. 3 is looking to close. But it is Tapmaster. And the 3 got second, G's turn, and Mr. Dazzle, the favorite, finished 3rd. Well. There's your bomb, folks.
That's
There's
a nice,
the price, baby!
that's a nice exacta too.
15
to 1 over 5 to 1. That's not bad. There it is. There's the bomb.
There is the bomb. Goodness. Got out
There's
in
one
front.
of them.
Got a little challenge by Wicked Fortitude, the 4. The 4 tired, Tapmaster pulled away. Mr. Dazzle couldn't close, and Mr. Dazzle even got closed on by G's turn, the 3 horse.
Yep.
7.
I know, Michael, you like the 4. I like the 4 too. I didn't end up using him, but I like that horse quite a bit. I like that horse last time out as well. I don't know what happened there, because I mean those fractions were honest, but not blazing.
Armchair got the exact in stable duel, which he'd played for real.
Very nice.
Very nice. I'll take the second at 10-1. Oh, burger. D'Lo is texting me his pick 5, so he's playing.
Is it all 5 or no? It's not. There's only one ticket like that on the. So.
I don't know if you can see. Oh my gosh!
It's so tiny.
See
yeah.
the caption? It says "all burger."
He had the all in there, and then almost
burger,
all.
yeah.
There's no 5 in the last though.
No.
Easy ticket right there.
Definitely didn't go all, but the 7 there.
Oh, never do the all but 1.
Yeah. Ugh. If you're gonna spend that much, just spend it.
Yep.
Up, an Armchair gave out the 7 there. There you go.
There you go.
See? There you go for data.
That's why. Yeah. Don't listen to me. Keep looking at those little squares and triangles. You know what the hell do I know? You know.
The bubbles, the big bubbles, the little bubbles.
Yeah.
Shapes.
I do
And
like.
then Rail Splitter got 4th, in case anybody was on Rail Splitter. 9-2. Rail Splitter got 4th. So we were asked how stable duel points work. In case you're playing, you get base points for 1st through 5th, and then the lengths beaten by or won by are the variants here. So obviously winning is the best thing, but for 2nd place you get 40 points, and then you subtract you subtract the lengths that the horse was beaten by the winner. So if it lost by 2 lengths behind the winner, you're getting 38 points. So you want to finish 1st through 5th, preferably, closer to the winner as possible every single race. So we got, BB Pubbin. Waiting for pay. Okay, payouts are set. 32.30 for the winner. Tapmaster. G's turn paid $7.20 for a place. Rail Splitter. Mr. Dazzle, the 3 horse, $2.70. So your exacta was $108, and your 20-cent try was $78.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Not too shabby.
Mm-mm.
Did anybody have the 7 in regular bets? I would like to know that. I would like to know that right now.
I did not.
Nope.
I did not.
I don't know if any of you guys used Equinedge, but the 7 was the top pace horse.
Slide! And, Orioles in Texas over 7.5 catches, 7-1.
so you know what that means. I got to take another shot.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got 50+ people. We're at 59 likes. Cheers! Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to Stable Duel, press the notifications button so you get notified every time Bree and Stable Duel goes live right here on YouTube. Also, make sure you follow them on Twitter. Cheers! Everybody in the chat. That's it! Shot time! Let's go.
Oh no, we had a pick 5 casualty with that 7. Sorry, Joe.
Oh,
Yeah,
I feel like Ed's probably out as well since we were both pretty gung ho on our data.
Oh, the one. Yeah.
Hmm.
So to Razor's point there, so even in the free PPs that Assiniboia Downs gives you, Tapmaster for at least the last time out had a huge Equibase pace figure of 111. So, I mean, if that horse can get in front and set the pace, right? I guess that's how you would look at it, right? If the horse can set the pace and it's got a good pace figure, I don't know. Am I wrong? Anyone?
I mean, the thing is, he's never really done this before. I mean, you can go back. He ran a race in July 7th, 2021, where he was kind of the early speed and he faded to 4th and lost by 7. I mean, he's not kind of a need to lead type typically. I mean, he typically fades. I mean, he's got good speed, but, and there was pressure. I mean, Wicked Fortitude, it wasn't like this horse was alone in the lead by 3 lengths or something. I mean, there was pressure there. It's just a surprising result. I mean, I understand what the Equibase pace figures are saying on the Equine Edge, but horse hadn't run that well before. That was the first. So
yeah, even the last time out, it came out was the speed early on and then faded to 4th, and that was in a much lesser race. Well, I guess the same race. So
lost to Mr. Dazzle, lost to Rail Splitter, and this time blew away from both of them.
Maybe it's because I was calling out its daddy and it had to prove something. Daddy.
$300 stud fee for Tap It.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that. But that wasn't even that recent. I was going to say he had a nice bullet work back on June 23rd, but I mean, there's not. I mean, he raced since then. He raced twice since then. Hasn't done much.
Do you do this to yourself after a result where you didn't really think it was probable, where you go back and you're like, well, I guess,
nope. I just move the bleep on because I'm like, that horse had a day, and I'm like, good for that horse. That horse felt great, and I'll kind of poke fun at myself. I remind myself that in 5th grade, I was a pretty unathletic kid. I had giant Steve Urkel glasses. I had an afro, and I was crushing it in the classroom. Not exactly the finest athlete, and yet somehow Matthew DeSantis managed to set the Schuylkill Valley Middle School record for free throws made on field day when I nailed 10 out of 10, and then promptly won the hot shot contest that next day. Sometimes you just have a day. And let me tell you something, that was the height of my athletic achievement was when I was 10 years old. And I have not come anywhere close to that since. So horses are like that. I mean, horses just, they feel good some days. They just have a day. And, you can look at every angle in the world and, some results just don't make sense. And you see that because you look at the PPs over time and they go right back to the way they used to be. And that, I mean, how many times, you and I have talked about it, Sarah. I mean, how many times do you see these, a big speed figure followed by 6 straight right back to what they were before that. So I don't try to do a postmortem. You can drive yourself nuts doing that, I think.
Yeah, I was always taught no postmortems. I do think sometimes it's good to go back and look and see if you missed anything to potentially learn. And sometimes the best feeling is I wouldn't have had that if I tried. Like Rich Strike in the Derby, probably wouldn't have had that horse if I tried. So, postmortems, learning, I don't know, lots of angles.
Yeah, I mean, someone earlier asked a question. I think it was the Horse Racing Today people. If you could come up with a new wager, what would it be? And for me, it would be who is going to the lead early, and I wouldn't have had it in that race. But there are a lot of races where I'm like, this horse is obviously in front, or this one is obviously not going to be in front of that one. And if that was a wager that I could play, I'd be much richer than I am right now.
Yeah. And you know, if Joel Rosario's on the horse, you never know where he's going to be.
He's going to be nowhere.
You know, he could be
and
last.
if he didn't win on Epicenter, could you imagine Twitter on fire?
They burn it down. Burn it down. Guys won like 7 graded stakes races at Saratoga, and everybody was going to be out for him after that. But I mean, he knew what he had underneath him. I mean, clearly. I mean, that was. And in a 4-horse field, it just everything changes. Like, I mean, being last is.
That's true.
Yeah, it doesn't matter as much. So. That's
a good point. All right, so we have 2 more. We have 1 more race until the Manitoba Derby. So that is race 5, which let me pull that up here on the PPs. It is the, I kind of laughed when I read this, so I'm going to read it. It's the Remax, right agent every step of the way. 5.5 furlongs, claiming $7,500. There is one very important horse in this race, which if Mr. DeSantis is listening, I'd be interested to know if he included this horse in his stable. Big Tony.
You are damn right that Blaine DeSantis has Big Tony in his lineup, as does his son, Matthew. And so I'm a big fan of Big Tony because Big Tony's dropping back down to the claiming circuit where he runs well. And a little bit more expensive. He was running at claiming 5s, and this is a claiming 75. But, you know, there's a lot of early speed, but there's a lot of early speed in all the 5.5 furlongs. So
Tony alone.
Yeah, I like Big Tony.
Speed is big, Matthew. Come on.
I like Big Tony. I think
we got this horse right here. A good price, too.
Yeah.
So Big Tony in the app cost, I always mess up, 15 to 1, $250, right?
I thought it was 500.
500.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it. $500 in the app for the 2-horse Big Tony. Yeah, a lot of people had some massive love for this one on the 18th of July, and it just didn't work out. So dropping down, obviously there's still massive love here. So you've got how many horses? We've got 1, 2, 3. We have 8 horses in this race. Big Tony being the 2. Tabia, not Taiba, confusing, I know, is the 4-horse, 8 to 1 in the app, costing you $3,000. But why don't we go to Michael here? Michael, who's any of your convictions in race 5 here at Assiniboia?
Yeah, this is kind of similar to the first race where I didn't have too strong of an opinion on this one. I did have one stable where I put the confusingly named Tabia in there. Just hoping he wakes up on a little bit of a drop, I would say. And then also he has some backlash from just Canterbury and Delta Downs form that could potentially beat this field. And getting 7 to 1 now, could be forwardly placed, which we've seen throughout this card has been an advantage. So I probably wouldn't want to take too short a price on anybody in this field.
Okay. Razor, who you got in this one? Race 5.
Race 5. I spread in this leg. I actually have 3 horses. I have the 2, 4, and 7. Big Tony I like because of the speed. 4 I like because of the pedigree. And the 7 I like because I think I'm getting really good odds on this horse, stable wise. Morning line 5 to 1, but I'm going to get a lot better odds on that 7. So I went 2, 4, 7. 2, 4, 7. I actually bet this race as well. 2, 4, 7 exact the box. 2, 4, 7 try.
Yeah, it's actually looking like this is one of the better races to bet than some of the other ones. Obviously not being able to pick Tapmaster in the last for value, but 8 horses here. It looks like the money is pretty spread. The 1 horse early morning line was 3 to 1. Yola is now 2 to 1. But the other ones, you know, you've got 7 to 1, 13 to 1, 6 to 1, 8 to 1, 22 on the 3 horse. And Big Tony, who we talked about, is down from 15 to 1 to 5 to 1. So we'll see there. But why don't we bring in Mr. Trusty? What's up and how are you? And welcome to the live stream. If I can move you over here. Boom.
Oh, hey. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
I guess I'm late. I've been in chat the
I gotta
whole night.
go. Good time.
Like I said earlier, word on the block is Razor's going to have the only pick 5. But no, thanks for having me. As always, this is going to be fun. Manitoba Derby night.
Absolutely. Do you have a big pick in race 5, the 5.5 furlong 7,500 claimer?
So here's the funny thing is you all bring me on at the worst time. I don't have a stable dual horse in this race, but I do have a bet on the 4. I don't really love it, but I mean, I could be talked into the 2 maybe. Going back to the Big Tony well one more time.
Tabia. All right, Sarah, where are you at on this one?
Yeah, I like Big Tony too. I think that he's just kind of the horse that everybody's become attached to at Assiniboia. And I thought that 15-1 morning line was just a little bit too generous and a little unrealistic, considering he was getting back against a class level that he fits with, and he has some early speed. But in my dual stable, I went to the off-brand cereal Taba. I thought this one could just show a little bit of speed as well, and seems like you're going to get a decent price on this horse.
I like it a lot. And who are we? Matt, did you pick one in this one?
I don't have one in the 25 game, but I did use Big Tony in the free game. And my question to the group is, if Taba ran against this field, how many lengths would Taba win by?
31. Secretariat margin. Exactly.
Secretariat margin?
Yeah.
Oh.
I would hope the horse gets beat, but that's just me because I think that would be fun to bet against.
That would be the, what is it? The Chaminade University of Virginia upset. You know, that's yeah.
I'm hoping the 3 horse wins here. Eagle Bine at 23-1.
Razor chooses chaos, and
Single ticket chaos.
yeah. I love it.
All right, so let's go back. I know that the app is updated, maybe not to race 4, but we were race 3. Let's see here. So after three races, where's all the scores? Where's everybody sitting after race 1, 2, and 3 in the app? Give me your updates.
I am 17th in the 25 game and 37th in the free ride.
17th, okay.
Ooh,
Michael?
I have one entry that is 16th in the $25, 47th, and 84th, and then I am 43rd in the free ride.
Nice.
Speaking of, no need to call it, currently sitting in first place in Manitoba Derby, $25.
And third, yeah.
And third. Sarah, where are you at?
In the Manitoba Derby night game, I'm in 38th, and then in the free, I'm in 132nd.
Razor?
Let me update mine. Mine still hasn't updated. Oh, yes, it has. In the money game, I'm in 42nd, and in the free play, I'm in 58th. But I'm money right now. The first race I passed on. The second race I had 66.5 points, also 22.75, and in race 3 I scored 60.5. So I have 3 horses in so far: 66.5, 22.75, and 60.5. And in race 4 I have the 2 and 4.
Well, it looks like if you do your update, we've got all 4 races updated. So
updated. All right, I'm up to 8 in the 25 and 17th in the free ride.
Yes, and mine actually updated and it actually got worse.
90, mine too. It's okay.
93rd and 152nd. I actually got minus points in race 4, 2.5 for race the 2 horse, and minus 18 for the 4 horse. And in race 5 coming up, I have the 2, 4, 7.
Colin, not anymore. It's okay.
And I'm gonna give. I don't mean to put him on blast, but Graham Babito, my father's stable, currently 345th in the free ride. So
he's looking for Big Tony to change his stars.
he really is looking for Big Tony and Yola. He's looking for Big Tony and Yola, and he's going. It's funny, his stable. He's gone deep in the later races, so he's only played I think 3 to this point. So he skipped one of the early ones.
Right now,
Well, it
I'm
looks
doing
like-
pretty decently. I'm in 67th
Ooh.
in the free ride, so better than average, which is abnormal for right now.
Which is all Dennis wants. Better than average.
Better than average.
Matt from
Hello.
Armchair had a huge closing from 306 to 99th after race 4. Well, good to go. So race 5 will be a big movement. So we are 3 minutes to post here. Sarah, would you like to call this one?
I think we have to let our best call the Manitoba Derby. So yes, I will take this appetizer beforehand.
Okay, so
Sounds
racers
good.
calling the Manitoba Derby. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. What's funny is Razor actually sounds like the race caller at Assiniboia. And
Yes.
that's the best part of it. Because am I on mute or not? Like you wouldn't know. But you just got to give that gravelly Big Tony, when they come around the turns. So always makes me laugh.
Spot on.
I try.
I think we
All
should
right,
shop for Big Tony.
Big Tone might like
I
that.
agree. I mean, 5.5 furlongs. I mean, and Sarah, Michael, I'd be interested in getting your thoughts. When you look at a race that's a 5.5 furlong sprint, and you see so many horses that have early speed, because I fall into this trap sometimes where I'm like, well, somebody's going to come from behind, and nobody ever comes from behind, or it doesn't happen nearly as often. So I'm interested, how do you cap sometimes looking at pace on those 5.5 sprints? I mean, that just seems so tough sometimes.
Yeah, I think speed of the speed and anything under 6 furlongs is always dangerous, no matter how much speed there is in it. I think it's like even more so when you apply it to like turf sprints, but even for these races, and then also when you kind of think about this race in particular, a lot of times when you're at this level, horses don't necessarily like to pass each other. So that's I don't know, I don't have the stats on it like Sarah does, but I'd imagine that in lower level races, you don't see as many horses win from far back, especially in sprints.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, exactly what Mike said, speed of the speed. And then I also want to see, have they done it before at this particular distance? Because I feel like the 5.5, especially for those turf sprints, and especially like at a track like Saratoga where those turns are so sharp, it plays so differently than the 6 furlong turf sprint at Belmont. And I feel like that's kind of why I struggle with those as well, because some horses, I feel like they really love those sharp turns or they really don't excel with them. So at a track like Assiniboia where you're going around the turn several times the further you go, kind of like Charlestown style. I just want to see that they have the capability to do it. But I just noticed too with Big Tony, last time out, obviously against tougher company, but he lost to Wicked Fortitude. And we just saw Wicked Fortitude come back and kind of do nothing. Does that concern anybody?
Yeah, that's concerning for sure. The class drop is what kind of sells me. But you just never know how horses come back too. I mean, that's been the interesting thing tracking Assiniboia. Michael, you mentioned at the beginning, we've seen a lot of these same horses run now 3, 4, 5 times. Some of these horses have come out of the gate really well, from those long layoffs from July until, from August until June, basically. And other horses have need a couple of races to warm up, and then other horses kind of warmed up and then plateaued and then started declining already. So, each horse just has their own story to some extent.
All right, so we are 0 minutes to post, and they're walking to the gate, and the sun has set on Assiniboia Downs, getting the lights out for what we call Monday Night Lights for Manitoba Derby. So this is exciting. We're getting closer to the big race. And yeah, we're going to have Sarah call this race. Race 5, Yola is still the favorite in the first spot, 2-1. Big Tony is sitting at 6-1. So kind of hovering where we have been talking about him, same spot. Eagle Bind, 23-1, longest shot on the board. Tabia, 6-1. Simple Man, 7-1. Bud Light Larry, in case anyone's enjoying a Bud Light, this is your namesake. Bud Light Larry is 12-1, up from 6-1 morning line odds. Sing and Cry in Dubai. I would love to know what the reasoning behind that name was. 7-2, your 7 horse, and then your outside post, the 8 horse, Shootin' Money, 6-1, up from a little bit of a shorter morning line at 7-2. So there could be some value in this race for sure. Still got love for Big Tony. Me personally, when a horse lets me down, I have a hard time going back. And I think that's emotional.
Sign the divorce papers.
Yes, I guess. That's where you're not supposed to bring your emotion into the data, and horses have bad days. I understand that side. But yeah, I kind of written Big Tony off. I'm off Big Tony.
See, I do the opposite. I keep them way too long.
Yeah.
Matt and I did this with a horse, Midnight Bourbon, and he never won. Yep. Rest in peace. He's the background of my computer. Still not letting him go. But he never won, and we would bet him almost every time.
And he won $8 million. Son of a bitch never won. $8 million. I mean, just incredible. And what's funny is I thought for sure you had that one over in Dubai when all of us were like, all right, well, we're kind of done with this. And then all of a sudden he comes in this
and then he ran well.
Holy hell. So
that's a horse though that you always pull for. You're like, come on, let today be his day. That's him. Hot Rod Charlie is kind of like that for me, even though he does win. But Hot Rod Charlie, I just think that thing tries its absolute best every single race. And that's all. You got to root for a horse like that.
Yeah, if Midnight Bourbon had beat Essential Quality in the Travers, I would have a very different life right now. Let's just say that.
A great horse.
Right,
no, it's funny. Wolf of Oaklawn, who's a great Twitter follow and a great guy, Chase, he actually writes breakup notes to his horses after they've totally let him down 3 races in a row. He's like, listen, it's not you, it's me, and I'm continuing to make mistakes, and I really shouldn't rely on you to make me money anymore, and so I'm not going to talk to you. He actually writes out little breakup notes to these horses just to make himself not use the horse anymore. Yeah.
Michael, did we get your opinion on this race?
I just had a soft opinion of Tabia. I was actually going to ask Sarah. She mentioned earlier about if there was a bet she could make to see who would get the lead early. That's one of the biggest questions for this race. I'm not sure who's going to get. It could be Big Tony. It could be Tabia. It could be Bud Light Larry. It was the murky pace situation. In my opinion, a little bit less enthralling for this race. And I don't have many horses in stable duel for this one, so more just excited to watch them run.
Yeah.
Sarah, do you have an opinion on who you think you'll hit the lead first?
Yeah, I hope it's Tabia, because that's what I used in my stable duel stable with that angle in mind. But yeah, it could be Bud Light Larry, it could be Big Tony. I think it just depends on what the rider intention is coming out of there and who really wants it the most.
All right. Well, it looks like it's post time. They're going in the gate. Sarah is your race caller for race 5. We've got 8 horses here. I won't go through the odds again. They're pretty much the same.
Come on, Eagle.
Razor's going for the long shot.
Come on,
that'd
Sarah.
be crazy if you swept the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and remember who your friends are when you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And remember, I know where you live somewhat. I'll find you at Delaware Park.
Whatever I win, I will split with all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you.
Come on, 3.
Let's go 3.
I'm sold.
Off the 14-month.
So we got an opinion on Big Tony. Big Tony will be on the read from K. Reed.
All right.
We'll see.
That's true.
According to Equine Edge, big shout out to my guy Scotty. If you guys don't check out, make sure you check out Equine Edge. Big Tony on Equine Edge, his pace is rated 99.
All right.
So that means that 3/4 mile, that horse has a 99 pace rating.
All right, they're all in the gate. They're off. A little bit of a stumble at the start for the number 1 Yola. Trails the field by quite a bit. Eagle Vine is going out to the lead for Razor. Big Tony is rushing up through the inside to challenge that one. And those two have separated themselves early from Bud Light Larry, Shooting Money, and Sing and Cry in Dubai in between. Big Tony is now securing the lead to the inside, and they're going pretty quickly, 22-3. Eagle Vine is up to the outside and trying to come after Big Tony, while Bud Light Larry moves at the outside of that one. They're all closing in on Big Tony, who's in front. Going widest of all is Tabia, and then at the back is Yola. Big Tony turns for home. Bud Light Larry's trying to hang in there.
Come on,
Simple
Tony!
Man shooting up the rail. On the far outside, it's Tabia. Now this one, Yola coming through after stumbling at the start and just cruising by. Simple Man holding on for second. Tabia is going to get fourth, but all Yola.
Yola.
Hey, Big Tony getting third. That's a win in the stable duel. $500 for a third. Got to take it.
Yeah. I don't think anybody saw the 3 going to the front early. So.
No, but one of the angles I do play is like, or not angles, but one of the things, like when a horse is coming off that long of a layoff, they feel fresh and they want to run. And so I more times than not, when they come off that long of a layoff, I'm just like, this horse might just kind of be a little too excited about getting back to racing. But I still didn't expect it.
That was a good race, though.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive.
Stumble?
Yeah, the stumble. It was probably, like 5 or 6 lengths back when at Sarah's first call.
That was much the best for that one.
Well, they did go pretty quick, and that did help the horse.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Assiniboia. You don't leave 5 lengths and then cruise away from the field.
All right, let's do our second live giveaway here for people. We're going to stick with Razor's way to do it. I'm going to make this difficult. Type in the number 72 if you're listening, and we're going to pick one when Razor tells me to pick. So just type in 72 and click enter and send it in, and we're going to pick one person to win a hat or a t-shirt. It's up to you. 72 is the number. Nobody's listening to me, Razor.
Shout out to
There we
the
go.
30+ people in the chat. If you haven't already, hit the like button down below. Share and subscribe. Press right now. 72 enter. 72 enter. 72 and enter. Keep pressing it. 72 and enter. We got all night. We'll wait until the next race starts. Press 72. 72 enter. When Bree closes her eyes and picks a number, you will win a hat or a t-shirt from Stable Duel. 727272.
Tell me when, Razor. Tell me when.
72. Press the button. Go ahead, Bree.
Oh, we got woo-voo.
Woo-voo.
Woo-voo. All right. Here's what you got to do, buddy. StableDuel.com. Email with
Woo is the winner. Make sure you message Stable Duel on Twitter. Collect your prize. I think it's what, $100,000 you give them?
Yes, in the form of a t-shirt or a hat.
Priceless.
You can email that or DM at Stable Duel's Twitter. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, in the house.
Perfect. We got the winner. All right, guys. This is the main event. $100,000, 1 1/8 miles at Assiniboia Downs, the Manitoba Derby, what we have all been waiting for. 74 years. Well, 73 years this thing has been running. It is the 74th running of the Manitoba Derby. Again, $100,000 guaranteed in purse, and this is a stakes for 3-year-olds, for fillies, colts, geldings, whatever you got down there. You can run in this thing. Okay, so we've got 9 horses. Do we have any? 8 horses. Do we have any scratches?
Nope.
Perfect. We have 8 horses. It'll be interesting to see if this one is chalky. Why don't we start with Dennis? Dennis, who do you like in the Manitoba Derby?
The what?
The main race, buddy. The main race.
I like Diodoro to win the race. Overall, I think the 1 horse Red Knobs is the best play for him, just off the claim from Churchill. Assiniboia's had a horse named Burrow Down that came off the claim from another Churchill trainer named Chris Hartman, and has been dominating up there, winning their stakes races by 12, 8, 20. It didn't matter. So I think this, with the same kind of format and formula, I think has the same result, or at least the potential to do the same result as Burrow Down.
Okay, good stats. I like it. Matthew, what about you?
Yeah, I think we're probably going to sound a little bit like a broken record here. I also like the 1 Red Knobs for Diodoro off the claim. Number 1, to Michael's point, is already down to 7-2. I mentioned earlier that he might end up being close to the favorite. The 8 is still the favorite at 5-2, but Red Knob certainly taking on a lot of money. One of the things that I like is Diodoro uses Carreno here as the jockey. You know, he brought in one of his jockeys, Walcott, on the 5, but uses the best jockey in the colony on this number 1 horse, Red Knob. So I like that. I mean, Carreno's winning at a 31% clip at Assiniboia. You just have to like that. I mean, this kid clearly knows what he's doing. And, Yola just showed the last race, breaking from an inside post. It was a sprint. Still, it has some ability, and just think that this makes a lot of sense.
Michael, who do you like in the Manitoba? Who do you like in the Manitoba Derby here?
Yeah, I think Red Knobs is going to have too much weight at this point to carry. I landed on him as well. And a lot of what I'm thinking of primarily was from the stable duel perspective of the fact that he's going to be below that 5-1 morning line, which is $6,000 in the app. As far as multi-race bets go, I just kind of used the 1, 5, and 8 and moved on. I think one of those 3 is going to win. I don't really see anything. I don't see Diodoro's 3rd stringer competing, and then I think a lot of the local hopes are overmatched outside of Pray for Peace. So I picked Red Knobs for the value in stable duel, but as far as how the race might play out, I could really see any one of the 1, 5, 8 winning, which is not going to be an opinion that you can turn into too much money, but that's just how I see it.
Razor, are you hunting for value on this one, or what are you at?
I'm rooting for the highest price. But betting wise, man, Great Escape, the 5 looks pretty solid here. This horse has raced 7 times at this distance. He's been in the money 4 of them. Better price wise, I don't mind the 2, Strong Belief. This horse has raced 6 times at this distance, been in the money 5 of them. So the 2, you're getting morning line 25-1. Right now, 16-1. So I like the value on the 2. I got nothing on stable duel here, so I'll be rooting for the biggest price.
Okay. Dennis has gone dark on us. Sarah, who do you like in this one?
Yeah, I'm just going to have to side with the popular opinion, which is Red Knobs in here. I think this horse just makes a ton of sense and gets that advantageous inside post. And he's not that slow either. He could show some early interest as well. Was in the Dale Romans barn, Churchill Downs, and the 2-year-old form is good with this one. I mean, he was in the Kentucky Jockey Club, the Iroquois Stakes, and some of those Derby Trail races where imagine a horse like Smile Happy or White Barrio or Howling Time, and what kind of price they would be in a race like this. And even Classic Causeway, who is, it pains me to say, now a Grade 1 winner. So he has the back class coming into this one. And I mean, Diodoro's dangerous first off the claim. And with the whole angle of Pray for Peace, this is a horse that was drawn inside for that win at a distance last time and is now all the way to the outside. And it's actually interesting. The 5 is favored in the pick 3. and the 1 is the 3rd choice. So I think that you might still get a little bit of a price with this horse, even though we've kind of all sniffed out this obvious one.
So number 8, Pray for Peace is sitting 1-1. Everybody's off that horse, or where are we at with the favorite, Pray for Peace? Sarah?
I don't like. Yeah, I wouldn't bet at this price, and I didn't use in stable duel.
Is it post position, or what turns you off?
It's definitely a part of it, but it's also really just that this horse had the inside advantage last time, and just got up over similar foes, and kind of has the same type of look as a lot of other horses in here. So now being drawn all the way to the outside, if I think 3 or 4 horses are basically equal, I'm going to take the ones that are more likely to win based on their post.
Michael, you got any strong opinions against the 8?
Yeah, I just think at the price he's at, you can't take him with the other 2. Yeah, like Sarah said, they have similar form. So, she said if they have 3 similar form, take the one with the better post. You could also say 3 with similar form, take the ones with the best price. And looking at Will Pays, it looks like it'll be 5 and 8 competing for favoritism. So that also points to the 1. And even the running line in the short comment says good trip inside for Pray for Peace. So he could be kind of a last time was the time to get the money at 5-2, where he's going to be sub 2-1 in this field.
Gotcha. Matthew, any strong opinions, or Razor, was that you?
In a row. The 2 horses going for 3 wins in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the questions here is a lot of these horses are stretching out to a new distance too. I mean, it's one thing to win at a mile. It's another thing to win it now 9 furlongs and going a little bit longer. So that's always a question mark. The other thing with the 8 is, I mean, the other horse that's got a good early speed is the other Diodoro, the 5. So the question is, this 8 is, ideally going to try to, clear and cross, but that 5 is going to make it difficult. And if you start seeing pressure stretching out to a new distance, I think it just sets up so well for horses sitting mid-pack or kind of right off that. So I just think it sets up so nicely for the 1 who, to Sarah's point, has enough early tactical speed that I don't think he's going to have to worry about being shuffled back, all the way or anything like that. So he's going to have to show a little bit of speed coming out of the 1 hole, but I just think it sets up too well, and we'll see. But I mean, certainly the 8 has the pedigree. I mean, both the Dam and the Sire both like distance, and that shouldn't be an issue. But I just think the pace doesn't set up well.
What do you think about the late pace on the 4?
4. I need to always. Why am I blanking on the 4?
This is one last time. Yeah, totally wiped out at the break last time, and that was the comment, wiped out at the break, and it was legit. I mean, this horse, you couldn't even see him for a moment. Yeah, Tim agrees. He watched the replay.
Yeah. No, I think the 4 definitely has a shot. I mean, he looked back, that Oaklawn form is not that bad. Finished 4th at a 1.1 miles behind Homebrew and Kuchar. So and Happy Boy Rocket, who are all 3 serious, pretty good horses. So. If he goes back and runs that mid to high 70s buyer speed figure, I mean, that's certainly more than enough to get on the board. Razor just hit something. That's all I know.
I actually pushed on a bet. But when you're in the 10th inning and you hit a 3-run homer and you tie the over 8, you're a happy man. So I had the Detroit Tigers and the Twins over 8. This final score was 5-3. So I got lucky as shit on that one. Someone take a shot. Shout out to the 40+ people in the chat. If you haven't already, hit the like button down below, share and subscribe. It's now 11 o'clock. We've been rolling for 2.5 hours. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Bree. Shout out to Stable Duels. Cheers. Everybody in the chat. Let's win some more money.
That bottle's going to be empty by the end of the night.
Love to watch.
Yeah, let's go, Dennis.
All right, let me give you some live updates on the odds here. So we've been talking a lot about the one horse Red Knobs, 5-1 morning line, which means cost you $6,000 in the Stable Duel app. That is a lot of reason to pick that horse. 3-1 currently. The 2 Strong Belief, 16-1, down from 25. Get Wit Gone, sitting at 40-1, which is the same as its morning line. Haven't touched on that one at all, but we did touch on the 4 horse Clancy's Pistol, 7-1 by Looking at Lucky. This is one of the Robertino horses with the jock that came in. The other one, as we just talked about, is using the top jockey at Assiniboia Downs. Another reason to look at Red Knobs, the number 1 horse. So we'll move to the 5, 7-2 Great Escape. 45-1 is the 6 horse Gold Special. That would be your obvious bomb here, including Demi Quandro, the 7 horse, 50-1, 30-1 morning line odds, 50-1 right now. And then your outside post, the 8 horse current favorite, Pray for Peace, 1-1, which not a lot of love from this group. Not a lot of love. So odds are holding there for just about everybody. Red Knobs, we talked about 3-1. It's saying 5 minutes to post, but they are still really getting saddled up here.
Come on,
so I
Charles
think
Brown. Come on, Charles.
we got a ways.
Brown. What's going on?
Yeah, we got a ways here. All right, so let's see who's everybody on for the Manitoba Derby here in the chat. Kay Reed needs that 6 to come running. Henry says, funny horse, I'm a part owner of Ironworks, beat Red Knobs at Keeneland by 24.
He's part of my group ticket. That's why we need the 6.
Okay. Then we've got, so Matt from Armchair is on the 1, but the 5 is making him nervous. Okay, 4 is good value. Yep, we touched on that one. Todd is on the 4. I'm pretty sure Todd won a Del Mar contest yesterday. If you were Moonbeamers, is that right? Someone posted Moonbeamers, and I think that was a winner of a Del Mar. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mr. Tanner is on Red Knobs. That's the 1 horse. And we've got Tim also, Red Knobs, the 1 horse with 1-8-4 try.
Let me ask this question too, just to say crazily. If you had to pick somebody besides the 1, 4, 5, and 8 to maybe beat somebody in the trifecta or something crazy, who would it be?
So we're getting rid of the 1, 4, 5, and 8.
Probably the 2. I mean, I just don't think this horse is fast enough or good enough, but consistent. Razor brought up this horse has been in the money, winning, knows the track, inside post. I would throw that one in the bottom of some exotics if I had to.
Anybody else?
I'd probably take the 6 if out of those 4 remaining. Ran against these last time, finished 4th, but had some trouble at the break. Had been running competitive, probably the best speed figures of those 4 prior to that effort. I'd probably take the 6, but I probably think the trifecta is going to be completed by the 1, 4, 5, 8.
Kay Reed is holding on to the 6 here. That's a person to have a ticket with because all the faith is set in this horse.
Mm-hmm.
It is interesting. Both the 2 and the 6 have decent. I just started looking it up. They have decent dirt routing pedigree. I mean, even though they're stretching out for the first time, I mean, they both their sires produced 18% winners on dirt routes. So that's not shabby. I mean, if they can handle the distance, I mean, you never know. But yeah, it's hard to. It feels like a very chalky trifecta. So.
Yep, now we got the 6 is sneaky.
This is what happens on Twitter too. Like right before everybody said, "Is Jackie's Warrior really that good?" I don't know. Who's Jackie's Warrior really beaten? And you start just questioning everything. So which I get. I mean, everybody's got to find an angle. So,
I mean, the 6 doesn't look shabby on track.
Oh, are they on the track now, Bree?
Yep, they're on the track. The post parade has started. They're getting their trot sets in to start to warm up the muscles.
By the way,
The
the last time we talked, I know it was 2 weeks ago. You were off to do the clocking with the works. How did
Oh my
that?
gosh.
How did that go?
I have so much to unload. It was
Trust me, we have time.
cool.
So
Oh, there we go. We did get confirmation. Yes. So Moonbeamers. So Todd, well, congrats for your win the other day. Ebbs and flows, buddy. And you still have plenty of races to close. No. So yes, I went to clock with Bruno with the works at Keeneland on a Tuesday, which is when they do breaks from the gate. And I can tell you what I expected versus what it was completely different, and could be that I was just very superficial in what I was expecting. I very much thought, they're going to break from the gate. You're going to start your timer, and then you're going to know here, hit the clock here, hit the clock quarter mile, half mile, and then 48, at 4 furlongs, you hit the clock and you just write it down. That's honestly what I thought we were doing. And then you kind of like talk about it, whatever. It was completely different than that, almost to the point you don't know what horses they are. So you write down their markings. So you can actually have a completely unique view to what the horse is doing without being tainted by either being a fan or not a fan or whatever it is, or trainer. So you just write down the markings, you write down who the trainer is, and then you cross-reference that later with the actual works to see who the horse was. And during it, you're clocking and you're taking down notes of closed in on this horse, like the pair that was working before it, like it ran them down, or stride looked great, didn't look tired at all, or, the last furlong had so much more and the rider held him back, like all these things that you don't see if you're looking at the DRF. And so for this clocker per se, or whoever it is, they're seeing stuff that you don't see when you look at 4 furlongs, 48 and 2. And then even the rating, 6 out of 16 on the day, I look at that stuff. There's a lot more there that I'm going to put into an article. I just didn't get it, but it was mind blowing. It was really cool. Mad respect to somebody that does that on a daily basis, because the stuff that they see, we just, as the public from a forum, just can't see. So long answer, but
no.
Yes.
Trust me, we still have 2 minutes to post. You could keep going.
Okay.
So by all means.
Do you want to just make this a audio article?
I know. I definitely want to do justice to explaining, as best as possible. And
what was that quote that you had?
So a ton of quotes from it, but one of them is, as a handicapper, the most important thing is to be curious, not judgmental.
That was
so Big Tony, judgmental, because I was like, oh, well, he didn't win that last race. I judged just that portion, rather than being curious to say, was, the trip tough? Did it just have a bad day? Horses, have bad days. And I was judgmental and I turned it off, and that's when you lose. Where if you're curious, you can understand a pattern. Or you can understand that the horses are human. I'm putting that quotes, obviously, and they're allowed to have bad days. Be curious, not judgmental was one of the quotes. The other one was, any horse can do a good 4 furlongs, but a good horse can do a good 5 furlongs. So, yeah, those are the 2 that I remember, but I have a lot written down that I'm going to include. Okay, we need to do a stable duel at Keeneland this fall. Okay, I'm game for that. We're going to have to get Sarah to drive an hour. We're going to have to get Matthew to drive 8 hours. You can pull it off.
Yeah, no, I'll do that overnight. I'll stop at the same diner in West Virginia on the way in. I'll do a live stream in my suit, and I'll probably get the same number of looks. So.
We'll open up.
Where's Razor? Where are you?
I'm in Delaware.
Okay, you're in Delaware, and then Michael, you're in Virginia too, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so Delaware, you guys could carpool.
Delaware, the first
each other up along the way.
Anyone didn't know.
Yeah. The first state.
What did you say?
Yeah, the first state.
The first state. So without us, there wouldn't be any of you bitches out there. I just want to let you know.
First to ratify the Constitution.
Thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. All right, we are 0 minutes to post, and it does look like they are going to the gate. Again, this is the $100,000 Manitoba Derby. This is the big race of tonight and also of the entire series of Monday Night Lights that we have done with the Assiniboia Downs, which has been super, super fun. So this is our last live stream. So thank you to all the hosts that are here now. Thank you to all the hosts that have been here before. And thank you to everyone that is in the chat. We love you. We're glad you're here. Running Chewies. I've seen that stable and I can live stream. Yeah.
Shout out to the 40 plus people in the chat. If you haven't already, hit the motherfucking like button down below, share and subscribe to Stable Duel. Make sure you follow them on all platforms, Twitter. Make sure you go to StableDuel.com. Make a stable every single day. Make sure you turn your notifications on and get paid every time Stable Duel goes live right here on YouTube. Cheers to everybody in the chat.
So we're gonna make Razor the live stream because the big whatever this is called, the big window, because he is doing the race call for the Manitoba Derby. He's earned it. And yeah, they're going into the gate. 8 horses.
It looks like they're going out to the parking lot, but I mean they're starting pretty far out there.
You know what? I actually hope one day there's a race that just does start in the parking lot. I don't know what track can make that happen, but
I remember when Kevin Reed said Tiz the Law was going to win from the parking lot. That didn't happen.
Ooh.
I feel like nothing can go wrong putting horses in a parking lot. Nothing at all.
No, nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
It goes so well when they're on natural surfaces.
Yeah.
Not something artificial.
Isn't that the new chute at Saratoga? Isn't that already in the parking lot?
That poor Saratoga shoot is getting so much flack.
It's not even used that often.
All right, looks like they're starting to get at least 4 of them are in.
Oh my gosh. The big race.
Assiniboia Downs race 6. They are loading up in the gate. Shout out to Stable Duel. Make sure you check them out on Twitter.
Yeah.
Follow them on all platforms. Make sure you go to StableDuel.com. Available on Android and iPhone. They
also
have
Razor go for the names.
They have free games. They have paid games.
Ooh, they're
And they're
out.
off.
They have it all.
Oh, the 3.
Assiniboia Downs race 6. They are off and racing. Shout out to the 40 plus people in the chat. If you haven't already, hit that like button down below, share and subscribe. They crossed the finish line for the first time, and right now it looks like the 5 is out front. Great escape at 5-2. They head around the first turn. The 5 is out front at 9-5 now. In second is the 1 on the outside, Red Knobs. In third, down the center of the track, it looks like the 8, the favorite, Pray for Peace. 5, 1, 8 are the top 3 horses. In fourth is the 2 horse at 21-1. Strong Belief. 5, 1, 8, 2 are the top 4 horses as they start to head down the backstretch. Shout out to StableDuel.com. If you've been hanging out with us all night, we appreciate your support. They head around the final turn. The 5 is on the inside and the 1 is on the outside. The 5 Great Escape is rolling down the inside. The 1 is on the outside. Like a 2-horse race. The 5 is on the inside. The 1 is on the outside. And the 1 is going to.
It's a Diodoro trifecta.
1, 5, 6.
1, 5, 4, I think.
And it looks like we had a bit of a clocking error there, but it doesn't change
No.
the finish.
They just set a world record, 16-4 for the opening quarter.
And the
That's
speed's
great.
held on.
The speed.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Yeah,
there
he
you
thought
go.
The Breeders'
The
Cup
host,
his staff. Yeah.
the host had it. Red
154
knobs.
was the final. 154.
Boom, boom. Oh, Cindy's here. There we go. Boom,
All right.
boom.
And that 8 horse was in deep trouble early. too.
Yeah.
Very much so.
All right. Well, that was the fate of the day right there.
Yeah.
I tell you,
I'm
that
glad
horse
we
was
had
like,
some good data.
Yeah.
that horse was like, listen, whatever Corniche can do, I can do worse. And so, that's
Oh,
I really like Corniche. I don't know why I'm bagging that horse. I mean, I feel bad for the horse.
I mean, you gotta just
Now.
when you want to fade a favorite and you're right, you gotta be proud of yourself.
Nah, you do. You do.
Well, hey, listen, so that one was a huge pick, I think, in the Stable Duel app for sure. So for $6,000, you got a winner when I'm sure most people potentially were pressured to pick the shorter prices in that big race. What'd I do, Matt? Did I screw it up?
33% was the number of people using that number one in that race.
wow.
Charting horse value, Jeff liked red knobs.
It was a plus
Yeah.
horse for Jeff too. I
Got a
think.
lot of love for that. And 3-1. 3-1. If you really like that horse, I mean, that was worth a bet for sure. It wasn't super, super chalky.
See, that's crazy how Stable Duel is, though. I mean, think about that. 33% of Stable Duel people used it, but the horse only had 20% of the pool.
Yeah. Well, that's because the salary cap changes things, and a horse is 6,000 on the morning line at 5-1. It's just so much more appealing. You can save so much more money, and Pray for Peace, $9,600 on the morning line. I don't know where that horse finished, but I mean, 26% of stables still use that one. So I mean that you could see big swings in the standings once this is all entered, because there are going to be people who took on some pretty big negative points, I have a feeling.
Well, and Jorge Carreno holds on, and it looks like he's probably closing into that jock title and doing it with a bang, finishing with the Manitoba Derby. So well done to everybody. Oh, so Greg said he had the one horse, and the kids know it thanks to Razor. There you go. All right, guys, I think we can wrap it up here. I know this is a late night for a lot of people. If you're staying up to watch, I get it. I probably will be sitting on my phone watching in bed as well. I hope
Come
you
on, 5
hatched.
in the last race.
You can stay just to watch to see if Razor closes out his pick 5 with his buddies. Anything else to add, guys?
Just thank you, Bree, for putting all this together. Assiniboia has just been such a fun meet. This has just been a blast. I'll be honest, I've never really played this track before this year, and just had an absolute blast interacting with the track on social media. They have a great social media team, and it's been just so much fun playing these games.
I agree. And thank you guys for coming on. I mean, honestly, this whole, the whole initiative that we've done in Stable Duel couldn't have been done without the hosts, the players, Michael being both on this one. Thank you for that. Matthew both, Sarah both, Dennis both, Razor both. Thank you for being hosts and playing Stable Duel and Assiniboia Downs. And I mean, it's not over. We're still going to play. We're probably just going to wrap up a live stream for a minute. But guys, good luck, everyone in the chat. Thank you for listening, playing, and chatting along. Good luck for the rest of the races. Cheer on the 5 for Razor in the last, and have a good night, y'all.